Yeah. No. No. Okay. All right, Nation. I think we are live. I think we're good. I hope we're good. Holy crap. That was not fun. That was not fun. My stream crashed there for a split second, so I do apologize. But we are back, Nationers. We are back. I got to get something. Oh, let's connect there. Hold on, actually. Let's move this out just a bit. Perfect. Alrighty, Nationers. We are back. We are back in action for the Raiders versus the Eagles game. I do need to start a poll. Who wins today's game? Raiders versus Eagles. You know, it is kind of surprising how many people actually still vote the Raiders on the YouTube poll, even though it's only really worked out twice this entire year. But you know what? You know, I don't think that that's too bad of an issue to have. You know, I don't think that's too bad of an issue to have, to be honest, Nationers. Great to see you guys back in here. I hope you guys are doing well. No, you're all good, Manny. It crashed like right as I started the live stream. So we are back. The 2-11 Raiders are taking on the Eagles over in Philadelphia, of course. Let me get that. I got to get my roster pulled up here in the next few minutes. So allow me to do that real quick. But I hope that you guys are doing well. It's so great to see you guys in here. I do need to pull up the Philly Eagles roster. Let's see who's on their active roster or something. Let's see. Let's get rid of that Denver Broncos one because that was last week. That's not this week. That was last week. All right, perfect. And then we'll go by number and then we'll go here. Yep, perfect. All right. Come on. Nope. Oh, I got to do active too. Yeah, I guess that's what I got to do. Alrighty, Nationers. Great to see you guys in here. I hope that you guys are doing well. So great to see you guys in here. Oh no, the numbers are backwards. Excuse me, Nationers. I still got a little bit of a cough. If you guys been tuning into some of the live streams, Nation, I got a little bit of a cough, but we are booling nonetheless, Nationers. We are booling nonetheless. So got to get everything that, you know, we set out to go do done. Philadelphia Eagles roster. Perfect. But Nationers, by the way, Aaron and Mike, thank you both so much for hitting that follow button. Welcome into the nation. Welcome to the realest community on the internet. We are back, baby. Back at it for another matchup. The Raiders are taking on the 8-5 Eagles. Now, this matchup actually does have a lot of implications, even if it doesn't seem like it will. It does. It does. Obviously, for the Eagles, it still looks like they're going to win the division, but to what seed will that be, especially given a win, maybe also a not so favorable win? Those things are going to really matter in today's matchup, of course. So there is quite a lot of implications. Obviously, our AFC West versus the NFC East, there's a lot. But yes, by the way, Jordan, people want us to beat the Eagles, but as a Raiders fan, I want to lose. That's exactly. I mean, that's if you're smart, you should lose this game. Like, as the Raiders, you should, because you're still even with the Titans. The Titans potentially could win one more game to actually get a higher draft, or I guess a lower draft position than you. And that's kind of what you want. I know it kind of seems counterintuitive, like it kind of seems backwards. You're like, oh, like, why are you wanting to lose? I think it's important to lose at this point. You know what I mean? I think it is. And I say that mainly for like the draft position at this point. I wouldn't mind the Titans being in front of the Raiders because they're not going to draft a quarterback. But what about if they do draft an O-line? What about if you go do a O-line? You know what I mean? And whatnot. And there's a lot to be said there, of course. But by the way, Nation, it's great to see you in here. Jer, welcome in. No, this is Patrick Parker. Welcome in. I hope that you're doing well. Also, Lauren W., thank you so much for hitting that follow button. Mike, hate to say it, but at this point, I want the Raiders to lose to get our top pick. I've been saying that for a handful of weeks now, given the rest of our schedule, who we're going up against, how the other teams like the Jets and the Saints are playing. So, yeah, great to see you in here, by the way, Parker. I'm doing well. How are you doing today on this fine Sunday? By the way, Co-Exotic Camp, thank you so much for hitting that follow button. Welcome to the nation. Welcome to the realest community on the internet. I think the pick's more important. I I'm still iffy on who like the Raiders will draft. I think it's a difference between want and what they need. Or I think it's a difference between want. I think it's a difference between want/need and what they might actually do. I think that's a very scary position. By the way, Flower is me. Welcome in. How are you doing today? Should be a great game, especially the Eagles are looking for a big bounce back win after last week's close game in Monsters Inc. Yeah, they're looking for a bounce back, and I think that this is going to be the one that they need, especially heading into this postseason, because it looks like they'll probably will still win the division. I mean, they would have to royally crumble because they're 8-5. The Dallas is 6-8, 6-7-1. Yeah. But yes, Jer, welcome in. Here we go, baby. I'm doing good. Hey, I'm glad to hear that, Parker. Glad to hear that you're doing good. But yes, do you think the Raiders will make it close game or blowout? That's a tough one to say. I think it'll be like somewhat close. Like, it'll be like somewhat close, like 13-24, 14 to like 27. Like, it's not going to be like a 3-point game to like 28 points, if that makes sense. By the way, JJ, just going to do play-by-play for the game. But yeah, Jer, you're saying watch Pete Carroll not get fired this offseason. Should have kept AP. I like AP. I don't think he's the greatest head coach. I like what he stood for. I think he's probably a better assistant than he is a head coach. He definitely gave with that energy, though. So why isn't Gino starting? He has that hurt shoulder. He hurt his shoulder last week, and it looked like some sort of shoulder sprain to strain to certainty of that. So that's why he's not starting today. So it's the Kenny Pickett revenge game, which will be very exciting, I don't know what it is. But when you have a backup starting quarterback, which, mind you, I guess maybe not a whole lot of people have film on that backup starting quarterback, but that is one that you're looking at and you're like, see how that one goes. By the way, Kendall, welcome back. How are you doing today? Great to see you in here. We will watch the Eagles game when it starts. Yes, we will, Andrew. Yes. All we want for Christmas is the Raiders win. Honestly, I want the Raiders to lose. I would probably go A.J. Brown. He's been off to a really good start these last 3 games. I would probably go with A.J. Brown. A.J. Brown. But it looks like it's snowing there, so I'm not too sure how that's going to go. By the way, Flowers, me, thank you so much for hitting that follow button. Also, Andrew, we will be live for the entire game. It's sunny there now. It was snowing the day before, it looked like. Will you be able to put the game full screen? Unfortunately, not. This is what the game looks like if I do a display capture, by the way, guys. As you can see, Pam Oliver is on the screen. She's talking right now. This is what it looks like. But yes, user, what is good? Thank you so much. All I want for Christmas, the Raiders to make the playoffs in my lifetime. I mean, they made the playoffs in 2016. Made the playoffs in 2022. So, 2021? 22? 21? 22? Because when the Bengals made the Super Bowl, which would have been 21. Because that's when the Rams won it. Because they got screwed over off a holding touchdown that never got called, or a false start touchdown that never, or a false start touchdown that never got called. But if they fire Pete, who would you like as a coach? That's a great question. Head coaching for me is very hit or miss. They're very hit or miss. There's not like one person I'm like, oh man, I can't wait to go get Mike McCarthy. You know, like that's like. It's not exactly my cup of tea. I think if it were me, I'd go out there. Sure. Sure. The Michigan head coach is unemployed. By the way, Knight Rider, what is good? Welcome back. I mean, I think the Raiders have a good makings of a team that could make the Super Bowl, given that like they signed a lot of vets. Probably gonna have a good draft pick. A lot of people are gonna want to sign there. They're gonna have to take a lot of what like the Chicago Bears did, fire a new head coach. And also, you have a star back there as well. Shipley with the return here. There's flurries in the sky here down in Philadelphia. It's about 26 degrees. Feels like 19 there. But yeah, Nationers, they're looking at Jalen Hurts. He's had a 54% completion percentage, 2 total touchdowns, and 7 total turnovers. 2 of them happen on the same play. So very interesting to see how he does today. Again, probably just looking for a nice bounce back. But yes, Nationers... Let me think. Let me know in the chat. Who do you think is going to win? What do you think is the final score? Here we go. Jalen Hurts under center. Handoff to Saquon Barkley. He bounces it back. He's going to be tackled right at the line of scrimmage. Might get a gain of 1. By the way, Jesus, is it Jesus Jesus or Jesus Jesus? You never know. Tune, what is good? How you doing today? Eagles win 24-7. I could see that. Oh yeah, I kind of guess I was thinking about the score, like, but Gino's also not in. I think they'll do all right. I think it'll be enough to be like, oh, why don't we just start him for the rest of the year? I think it'll probably be like that. By the way, user, do you think the Raiders draft Mendoza? I'll get back to that here on a 2nd and 9 here. Jalen Hurts in shotgun. 3-by-1 set. So that means 3 receivers to his left, 1 to his right. Saquon handoff up the middle on an inside zone run. He's going to get about 4 yards. Going to bring up about 3rd and medium. 3rd and manageable. So, by the way, a user, do you think the Raiders will draft Mendoza? I think it's probably the one person that I probably would want, given the qualifications of that pick and, like, you know, kind of who Mendoza is. I think the Spanish community for the Raiders fandom will really enjoy him. But I haven't watched enough film to be like, yeah, man, I can't wait to, like, draft him. I just don't know what the Raiders will do. That's the scary part. They've been pretty good, but they've had new GMs every year. That's always tough. 3-by-1 set again. A.J. Brown on a back shoulder. They're going to draw a flag on that one. Definitely a flag on Eric Stokes Jr. Did not get his head around. Kind of was all over the body of A.J. Brown there. Not a bad ball. I mean, decently good defense for what it is. Just playing a little bit too much. Not able to get his head turned around. And A.J. Brown almost still able to reel in that ball. But Eric Stokes not able to get his head around. I mean, he got his arm in there. I could see it as a no call. Maybe if it were like a different team. But I understand that it's just going to be whatever the referees call for this game, especially saying that this is not like the biggest game of like a lifetime. You know what I mean? Yeah, I also do, user. I'm hoping to watch some of that game later today. Saquon on a outside run, 1st and 10. He's going to bring it down to a 2nd and short on a 6-yard carry. But yes, Nation, great to see you guys in here. Hope that you guys are doing well. Most importantly, Nationers, yeah, I know a lot of these streams we do talk about, like, what do the Raiders do in this offseason. I think primarily I was under the impression it's going to really depend on what they do with Gino, because if they keep him, it's a lot of money on the books. So if they do keep him, what is that going to look like? Saquon in the flat route, not able to reel that one in. A little off target, kind of on his back shoulder. Kind of over here as he's heading to the left side the left side of the field, turn his body around. Jalen Hurts with a little inaccurate throw to start off this drive. 3rd and 4 coming up though. So I was under the impression, this was just, I always thought, it was like, well, if Geno Smith, depending on how, I mean, he's very expensive. Like, you're gonna have him, if you have him on your team and you're not taking on his dead money, you probably are gonna play him. But I think I've come to the notion that this is a 2-by-3 set, empty set for Jalen Hurts here on 3rd and 4. Devontae Smith in motion. Jalen Hurts going to take it himself, and he gets the first down. He's going to be down at the 20-yard line, the 15-yard line, it looks like. 20-yard line. No. Yeah, going to be down at the 20. Am I stupid? Oh, no, down at the 25-yard line. Sorry, this is actually updated. But I just think with how expensive Geno's contract is, one, no team's going to sign, no team's going to trade for him. No team is going to trade for him. The Raiders are either going to have to take on his dead money, or what they're going to have to do is, like, buy waiving and cutting him, or they keep him and play him. And I'm more of a fan of the prior of just cutting, take on the dead money, let it be what it is. You're going to have a rookie scale contract in your first overall pick anyways, at pick 1 or 2. And so I'm not, I think the notion of drafting like Mendoza or a quarterback, just for that matter, is more likely than not. And then them actually either cutting or keeping Geno and then just putting him back to the bench at that point. So with that being said, there was a little run to the right as Saquon Barkley kind of jumped, switched gears, little juke of sorts, kind of up the middle. He's going to get about 3 yards on 1st down. 2nd and 7 coming up. 2-by-2 set. Jalen Hurts finds Saquon in the flat, wide open. Atlanta Roberts and Caillou Blue. That's not Caillou Blue Kelly. That is Darian Porter, the rookie, in on the tackle. 26 on 26 crime. I wonder if they do a little jersey swap after the game. Raiders could have drafted a QB in this year's draft. They could have. They absolutely could have. They absolutely could have. Looks like he's going to be about a half yard short. Looks like he's going to be about a half yard short. Bailey, welcome back. How are you doing today? We got some tush push action. We saw some trickery last game, but not going to be no trickery here. 3rd and 1 is going to get him a first down and a new set of downs heading in to the red zone. They're at the 14, 13-yard line. Looking to score on this opening drive here. Put the game on the screen, bruh. Okay, Chris. Here. Is this what you wanted to see? I got you. You wanted to see this, right? You wanted to see... Oh, you want to see the QB sneaks? Right. I got you, Chris. I hope this helps. By the way, 1st and 10 for the Eagles. They're in 1-by-3 set. Saquon in the backfield, deep into the backfield, about 7 yards back. 1st and 10. Devontae Smith in motion. Saquon stretch run to the right. He's going to get tackled after a gain of 6 yards on first down. Let's see what they can run here. By the way, I'm laminated AF. That's fair. Put the damn game on. I'll try. By the way, Isaiah Porter, hey, Jared Hathaway, how you been getting numbers? Hold on. How you been? We getting number 1 pick this year's draft next year? It's going to be interesting to see. We do need the Titans to win another game. But it's interesting to see. By the way, Andrew needs to get... Thank you so much for hitting that follow button. Welcome in. Can I put the game up on the screen? Yeah, here, guys. This is what the game looks like. Just in case you're wondering. Jalen Hurts on the pitch to Saquon Barkley to the left. He's going to be tackled behind the line of scrimmage. Going to be a loss of 1. 3rd and 5 coming up. Again, they can still get a fresh set of down. This is what it looks like. That's okay. Twan, if you're not looking to hear me talk about the game, there's plenty of other streams if you would like to. I'm not forcing you to sit here and watch the game. But, I mean, it's not like you could watch it anyways if I wanted to show it. If this is what you're looking for, this is unfortunately what's showing. Jalen Hurts, he's 1 of 2 for 6 yards. 3rd and 6, 0-0, 8:43 in the game. It's like, go to another live if I don't have the game. Well, there's no other games in show, and then don't complain. I'm sorry. You have a choice to leave the stream if you don't get what you want. Gonna be Devontae Smith right at the sticks. Looks like he's gonna get a first down. A little shaken up after that play. Kind of landed right on his face, but able to haul it in. Fresh set of downs. 1st and goal, it looks like, for the Eagles here as they drive on their first drive of the game. Yeah, very nice. Briz, just give him play-by-play. Is it commercial? No, it's not. The Eagles are driving right now. They're about 5 more yards to score. Am I showing the game or just stats? I'm showing, giving play-by-play for the games. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, it's definitely not a must-win in my mind, but it definitely gives you a little bit of breathing room and a little bit of confidence heading into these final few games. It looks like Nick Sirianni is going to maybe challenge this 4th and 1 ruling. Like, he was right at the sticks. I don't know why. I mean, does Nick Sirianni believe that, like, the tush push is, like, unbeatable? If it's me, this is a first down. Like, Devontae Smith caught this right at the sticks. This is a first down. By the way, Masha, what is good, yo host? We are going to win this because guess what? It's the freaking goal. Guess what? It's the Raiders. It's very fair. So, Masha, are you an Eagles fan or are you a Raiders fan? I'm assuming you're an Eagles fan. I could also see, like, like the Raiders playing good in the cold just because, sometimes it happens. But by the way, God is good. Welcome in. How you doing today? By the way, Nala, what are you using? I'm using Sunday Ticket. I might have heard about it. By the way, Sizaholic, welcome in. Thank you so much for hitting that follow button. Welcome to the nation. Why can't anyone watch it on any apps? Probably asking the wrong person for that, unfortunately. Anywho, 1st and goal. So, goal-to-go touchdown percentage. The Eagles have the 3rd best at 94%. Saquon with a run up the middle. He's going to get tackled right at the line of scrimmage. 2nd and goal coming up. User, just give him play-by-play. Woj. Will the Raiders win today? Probably not. How do you hide the chat? Mikey, hold the chat itself and it'll pop up with a dialogue at the bottom of your screen that says hide chat. So, 2nd and goal coming up. Pretty cold there, like I mentioned. 26 degrees. Feels like around 19 to 20 degrees. So, second and goal, Jalen Hurts in shotgun. 2x2 set, 2 tight ends in the game. Devontae Smith in motion. Excuse me, Dodson in motion again. Pitch out to... This is like, wow, I love this play. This is such like a college play. Goddard! Have him on my fantasy, by the way, so very nice for him to get a touchdown. But Dallas Goedert with a little RPO run. What happened? Your access to live on Stream Elements has been suspended. What happened? What just happened? What just happened? Hold on, I need to open up my TikTok. There's a touchdown by Dallas Goedert, in case you're actually wondering. I wonder if a bunch of people reported my stream. I wonder. What did this say? Huh? View details. What happened? Huh? Huh? What happened? I don't know. The TikTok just went down. Let's see. See if we can bring me back. Looks like we're fine. Sorry, Nationers. Looks like the TikTok live went down there for a split second. But what looks like happened on that touchdown play was a little run option, but it was more like a little shovel pass to Dallas Goedert there as he kind of comes across the motion. Like I said, it was a 2x2 set. You had Dodson in motion. You had Saquon kind of pulling to the left, and then you had Goddard coming across the formation with a little shovel pass to him. So, yeah, Nation, sorry. Looks like the TikTok live went down, and going to be a 4-yard touchdown for Dallas Goedert. Little catch. Mind you, it's not a run, but a catch, which is nice. So, with that being said, Nation, yeah, sorry. It looks like my live went down on TikTok. Looks like I don't have any violations, so I just decided to restart it again. Which is nice, but yeah, unfortunate as it is. I was not really expecting that, but it happens. But Nations, welcome back. We're live for the Eagles versus the Raiders, or should I say the Raiders versus the Eagles in Philadelphia. Eagles just scored on a 4-yard shovel pass to Dallas Goedert, so very excited about that. But yeah, unfortunately, my stream went down, which I'm not too happy with. Because we were having fun. We were talking. A lot of people were asking to see the game when they don't realize that, like, you can't show the game. By the way, Raiders for Life 26. We do need to lose. I mean, I think the chances of losing this game are pretty high, in my opinion, just given how good the Philadelphia defense is. So, yeah. I think we will lose this game, but it's definitely one that we need to lose. We need to lose out, too. We cannot even beat the Giants next week. So, we got to stay pretty on the ball with that, I will say, because next week we have the Texans, then we have the Giants. So, yeah, we do need to lose, even if that's not something that we're, good at doing. We win the games that we shouldn't win, and we lose the games that we should win. It's weird. It's the life of a Raiders fan, let me tell you. We always win the games we should lose, and we lose the games that we should win, but... Here we are, Nation. My crew neck shirt finally shipped. Let's go, Bailey. I think mine is out it should be out for delivery today. I'm going to go ahead and see. I tried looking at my phone, but it wasn't able to open up the link. So I'm going to just see. We're going to see if we can see what we got here. Anywho, Nationers, we do have Dylan Laube bringing this ball out to the 27-yard line. Hey, Parker, thank you so much, by the way. I appreciate that a ton. By the way. Received your money? No. What is it? Hold on. There we go. Where is it at? Receive my order. Where's my order? Let's see. Hey, thank you so much, Raiders for Life. I appreciate that, by the way. Again, Asia, if you guys actually do want to go check out my Twitch, I'm live on YouTube right now, but if you want to check out my Twitch, Jared Hathaway, just look up Jared Hathaway. You should be able to find it. It's technically I'm Jared Hathaway. Kenny Pickett in shotgun out to the flat route for Ashton Jeanty, trying to get him in open space. Again, we do have Greg Olsen as our offensive coordinator now after a few games starting to kind of fire up some plays, but I mean, I'm not going to lie. A lot of these plays look very telegraphed. Hey, I appreciate that, by the way, Parker. This guy's the best. I'm not glazing him since he's a Raiders fan. I appreciate that, Parker, a ton. I do. I really do, by the way. Appreciate your support ever since you came in week 1. Or I guess, when did I start going live on the TikToks? But whenever I first went live on the TikToks. So I appreciate that a ton. 2nd and 6. Kenny Pickett under center. 2x2 set. Trey Tucker in motion. Run to the right for Ashton Jeanty. He's going to be hit, but he's still charging those feet. He's going to get about 3 yards. 3rd and short coming up. 3rd and short coming up. Let's see what we got going on here. They're going to mark him at 3rd and 2. It's kind of weird that they gave him an extra yard. Definitely looked like a third and like kind of, maybe it's like a long 2. But thank you, by the way, Bailey. Much love. Kenny Pickett's an empty set, 3x2 set. Tyler Lockett looking like looking like that one meme, that one girl in the door. Looking for Tyler Lockett. He's going to try and tie her up the sideline. He's going to get the first down. I think the defender fell, so he was wide open there. 1st and 10, 2 gloves. Kenny Pickett, revenge game. See if he see what he does. Cooper DeJean, yeah, he just slipped on the grass. Cooper DeJean. It happens. It happens. Now, will a white corner get a pick potentially today? Yes, sorry. Thank you. Sorry. Yes, you are so right. They did score. You're so right. I apologize, Roger Pacheco. Kenny Pickett, play action, Raheem motion to game. Brock Bowers in the flat. Going to be tackled for a loss of 1 by number 17, Nakobe Dean, one of their 2 linebackers. Back there was Zach Bond, able to find Brock Bowers in the flat route. Get the tackle for a loss of 1. 2nd and 11 coming up. But yes, what happened, my TikTok live went down like right as the Philadelphia Eagles scored. So I don't exactly know what was going on with that. So yeah, I do apologize, Roger. Thank you for reminding me because they did score. They did. Dallas Goedert got me some fantasy points. How's my team doing? 26 points so far. Let's go. I guess it's the Houston defense already got 12. I don't know what they've done, but they got 12 points. Kenny Pickett dropping back across the middle for Jacobet. She's going to be tackled on a 10-yard gain, 1 yard short of the line of scrimmage, or excuse me, the line to gain. 3rd and 1 coming up. Greg Olsen. And short yards downage has been decently okay. It's mainly just been the line, especially because you cannot run, especially against this defense. You have Jalen Carter down there. You have a lot of guys who are very big and bruisey. Kenny Pickett with a rollout, going to take it himself. I told you it's the revenge dagger. Kenny Pickett down to the 45-yard line in Eagles territory. Like I said, Kenny Pickett revenge game because he did win a Super Bowl with them last year. So, will he be able to win one with the Raiders this year? Well, yes, yo, host. We should be happy that Geno Smith isn't out there. I think you should be upset that he's not out there, to be honest. I guess that's also kind of what you're saying as well, Masha. But here we go. 1st and 10. Kenny Pickett under center. Jumbo set to the left. Ashton Jeanty, plenty of space. Gonna tackle. Ooh, Cooper DeJean. Nice little tackle there. Made a little hip drop tackle, of course. So 2nd and 8 coming up. DeJean with a nice tackle there after a gain of 2. Pickett doesn't hate us. I'm sure he doesn't. You know, I mean, he's one of those guys. It's like a backup quarterback. It's a lot different of an environment, but yeah. Here we go. Kill, kill, kill. Got pyramid formation. A receiver and a tight end to each side of the ball. Play action. Brock Bowers in the flat. Kenny Pickett dimes it. Brock Bowers not able to hold it in. This was like a little catapult. Kind of hit right on his hip. And it bounced right out. I think it actually did bounce out, by the way. I'm not too sure. I had the weirdest dream last night, Nationers. I had the weirdest dream. I got like diagnosed with like a thing where I got to wear like a patch of sorts, you know, kind of like one of those heart meters. But I had to wear like a patch on my arm, almost as if I were diabetic. And yeah, Brock Bowers not able to catch that one. One of his rare drops so far, but offensive so far. The Raiders are the last in points per game, rush yards per game, and 10-yard rushes with only 24 10-yard rushes this season. Tyler Lockett in motion, 1x3 set. Kenny Pickett's drop back, 3rd and 8. Going to take this on his feet. He's going to be sacked by number 55. Brandon Graham. He has come out of retirement. He is getting sacks in the big 2025 after tearing his tricep, making a return for the Super Bowl, retiring. There's a flag on the play. Could it be defensive holding? And it looks like it's going to be a personal foul because Tyler Lockett and number 27, Quinyon Mitchell, Quintanamo Bay. He and Tyler Lockett were getting into it. Looks like there might be some personal foul. Maybe gives the Raiders a first down. Maybe it's offsetting. And maybe nothing happens. And the Raiders got to punt this one away. But yes, Kyle, what is good? How you doing today? Great to see you in here. Masha, yes, stall him. Let's see what happens here. Brandon Graham, I remember him tearing his triceps or biceps. One of the things in his arms. One of the muscles in his arms. I know it was one of the seps. And he was able to come back if the Eagles were able to make the Super Bowl, and they did. It's not a low tackle. So it's nothing on Brandon Graham by any means. Kenny Pickett not able to escape the pocket here without Brandon Graham on his back. I'm not letting the Raiders win, sorry, but no, I don't think the Raiders will win regardless, but let's see what we got here for the call.
Wow. Holding. That penalty is declined by number 33.
Okay, Cooper DeJean had a hold.
Personal foul, unnecessary roughness, also by number 33.
Oh.
The play ended behind the line of scrimmage. Will enforce 15 yards from the previous spot. Automatic first down.
Okay. That's an interesting call. That's a really cool fact. Looks like the Raiders are going to get a 1st and 10 here, though. By the way, playing against Raiders is a free win. Honestly, yeah, next week might be a little different because it might not be as easy, but I think the Giants will be just fine. Yeah, so Tyler Lockett got held up here. I don't know what got into, like, the fighting match, though. Can I say that Brandon Graham is back is a good thing? I would say so, too. I would. Tyler Lockett must have said some stuff. He was talking about, oh, you hitting up all them college girls still? But yes, I'm a Bears fan. Will the Bears win? Who are they playing? They're playing the Browns. I think this is going to be a good test for them. They're up 7-0. Looks like they're about to score again. I think they will. I think they will win. I would bet money on it. I think I would. Given, I mean, the defense will hold. The offense has looked good, through these past few games for the Browns, but I think that Chicago also probably a lot better on both ends, better offense and defense. Well, maybe not a better defense, but one of the better upper echelons of defenses so far through the season. So, yeah, I would probably give them that. Imagine if the Raiders would have drafted Shedeur. They probably still would have done nothing with him, to be honest. But that's also, if they're drafting Shedeur, then they're probably under the notion that they don't trade for Geno either. I'm not super high on a Shedeur type of guy either. I think there's too much distraction with it. In my personal opinion, I think he's got some great qualities, but he's not a quarterback that's going to lead you to like a championship. Kenny Pickett going to take another sack. Number 97, Moro Ajomo. Nice sack there. Opinions on Phillip Rivers. I mean, I would not want a better quarterback. I mean, other than like Tom Brady or, some other savvy vet over the handful of years that, played through some pretty great defenses in the late 2000s to, even the Seahawks. A little slant route for Jack Betch. He's going to get a handful of yards back on 2nd and 20 after the sack. First catch of the day for him. Who do you think will win? I think the Eagles will win. Oh, Drake May. Drake May. 8-yard touchdown run against the Bills. This is going to be a huge game. Implication for the AFC East as well. But yeah, I really like the pickup. I mean, he's been running a lot of the Shane Steichen offense, so he's very familiar with it. Here we go. 3-by-1 set. Kenny Pickett. And there's not a guy that reads defenses better than like Phillip Rivers. So yeah. Here we go. Tyler Lockett in motion. Kenny Pickett. 3rd and 13. Can they convert? He's looking to the boundary. Tyler Lockett on those little 7-yard medium distance outs. Tyler Lockett chirping. Cooper DeJean back in the face of Tyler Lockett. Tyler Lockett, man, he's old enough that he could just talk all he wants. You know what I mean? So, yeah. You know what's funny? It just snowed just now, so the Raiders must be slipping on the ice. They're showing the replay of the personal foul on Cooper DeJean. There was like a hold and Tyler Lockett came up to talk to him, and Cooper DeJean just pushes him. So funny. Raiders are going for this. 4th and 6. Brock Bowers in motion. Raiders do snap it. 4th and 6. Raiders batted at the line of scrimmage. I don't know who got a hand on it, but Kenny Pickett not able to reel that one in. as it was batted at the line of scrimmage. The Raiders do turn over the ball on downs. Batted by, oh my goodness, Jalen Phillips or Jordan Davis? Well, the entire line batted it. Okay, the entire defensive line got a hand on it, batted it down. And yeah, honestly, it does kind of feel good, and especially a few games out, like with the Colts kind of on that verge, and you also have the Texans kind of on that verge, especially with how good the Jags have played. And yeah, I mean, Houston will definitely get a free win next week against us, so that'll be good for their chances, I will say. But yeah, I'm very happy. I'm excited to see what everything looks like in playoffs. I love these final 4 weeks of football, man. I love knowing, like, okay, you need this team to win, you need that team to lose, and like seeing if they come true. And especially as a Raiders fan, and I'm sure other Raiders fans share the sentiment, but when we've been in those like in the hunt playoff situations, and you know, the very few times that we've actually made it and things have gone our way, it's been really fun, to be honest. Bills could have a chance. Yeah, since they're not going against Mahomes, yeah, freaking Josh Allen's kryptonite. It's that dad strength. That dad strength. I would not be surprised. I know someone out there made like a prediction of like Bills versus Rams Super Bowl, and I honestly would not be surprised if that like does happen. Like, given like Josh Allen dad strength on another echelon, right? Do I think that they will? No, but like it'd be kind of funny. The dad strength and Josh Allen just comes a little early before the birth of his child. Play calling is rigged so they aren't successful for a win, so they don't lose their spot. Yeah, they're just, I imagine, I don't even know what their game plan is. Because it's like, at this point, as an org and as the players, do you like go into these meetings and are like, man, we need to lose this game? You know what I mean? Frankie Mendoza Jr., welcome in. How you doing today? Welcome in. Taylor Made, welcome in. 100% emoji. S2K. Eagles probably just got happy when they saw the Raiders on the schedule. I imagine they probably weren't when the season started, but they probably were as the season progressed, though. Because I think a lot of people, and I'm sure the Eagles included, probably were looking like, okay, the Raiders might be verge playoff. Like, they're playing us late in the season. Like, they're going to need a win, right? Why no field goal? It was quite far. Well, would have been about a 50-yarder. Would have been about a 50-yarder. I don't know. I think that they just want to go for it. I think that there's not much point in a field goal there. You kind of look like Mendoza. I appreciate that. I don't have the hair of Mendoza, but I could kind of see it. A lot of people say I look like Markiplier. That's what I get a lot. Yeah, but AA, I'm sure like as the season progressed, you're looking at a 2-11 team. Like, yeah. So, with that being said, why are they showing a passer rating? It's 3 of 4 on 16 yards. What are you doing, man? TikTok Live's going down again. Anywho, 1st and 10 for the Eagles. Got 2 players in the backfield. Both running backs. One to the flat. Saquon on pass pro. Deep ball. Devontae Smith! He finds it! He's down at the 20-ish yard line. Devontae Smith deep into Raiders territory. The deep ball. What the heck happened, man? My TikTok goes down again? Why? Why? Gotta start the live again, man. Alrighty, Nationers. 2 times the TikTok live has gone down on the stream. But deep ball down at the 23-yard line. Run up the middle for Saquon Barkley. He gets a handful of yards. Going to be 2nd and 3 coming up. Yeah, Nation, man, you know, this freaking live stream, man. I don't know why it keeps saying that I get the stream elements kind of restricted, but I can still just go live again, so it's not like the biggest of deals, but it is more or less it's more frustrating than anything else. So we'll continue to stay at it, Nationers. I'll say that. We'll continue to stay at it. Oh, no hold on Max Crosby there either. You know, I never understand how the back just, like, misses, like, an obvious call like that. I never understood. I mean, are they going to call this one back? They're not. This is just going to be the end of the first quarter. Well, obviously not, because they ran the ball. They can't even call... They can't call that one back. But yeah, it's very frustrating because there's a backline judge. There's a backfield judge that is watching everything. And especially with an edge rusher, you're always get those like horse collar like holds. And I'm surprised that they don't call that. That was probably one of the more obvious ones that I've seen this season so far. So yeah, but it is what it is, Nationers. We're back in action. Raiders are on the back foot here, Nationers. The Eagles are driving. They're down at the 16-yard line. Very similar situation that they were in last drive where they had like a 1st and 10 kind of at the 12 to the 10s. And so be excited to see what they do here. Be very excited to see what they do here, Nationers. But nonetheless, it is so great to see you in here. I hope that you guys have been enjoying the stream. And most importantly, I hope that you guys have been enjoying everything that has been going on this game so far. Just looking at some analytics on YouTube Nation. I posted a video. I reacted to that new Doja Cat album, and I'm trying to get monetized on my Jared Hathaway Clips channel. So if you guys want to help get that channel monetized, Jared Hathaway Clips on YouTube, feel free to go watch a few videos. I posted a reaction to the Doja Cat album. It came out a few months ago. Got 265 watch hours, which is nuts, which will put me at 3,620. So I gotta do basically that again. So yeah, I want to try and get monetized before the end of the year, which I think will be really fun and really, really nice. So yeah, Nationers, you guys want to, feel free to go watch on Jared Hathaway Clips. Feel free to help get that channel monetized. And most importantly, Nationers, we are in game break, end of quarter, by the way, Nationers. So we are going to take a few moments in between to look at some of the scores going down here. Let's see here, Nationers. Let's see. Yeah. Bang, bang. Chicka, chicka, bang, bang. By the way, Mash, welcome back. The TikTok live keeps going down, by the way. Kenny Pickett's so tough. The O-line's just bad. I would agree. Kenny Pickett's had some good plays. He's just not able to escape the pocket before the pressure gets there. Like, right as he realizes he needs to escape the pocket, mind you, this is not his fault. But right as he needs to escape it, he's sacked. So yeah. By the way, but also the Eagles are going to win the next 2 games. Do you disagree or agree? It's going to depend on their schedule. Plus you have Sam Howell as your backup quarterback and Tanner McKee. Come on now. Let's see what the Eagles have for the rest of their schedule. Probably a few divisional. Commanders and Bills. Could happen, yeah. Here they go. Devontae Smith in motion, seeing the flurries. Max Crosby trying to get a tackle for loss, but it's not going to be him. It's going to be Atlanta Roberts coming in from that linebacker position. Saquon Barkley, another tackle for loss. That's 2 on the game. 3rd and 6 coming up. What would you do if the Raiders win? I would celebrate JJ Mercy. I would agree. He's definitely a lot quicker on his feet, Raiders. Ways Raider. He's definitely a lot quicker on his feet. I think also just because he's a lot, He's a lot younger too. A lot more spry. I just need to hold like they do to Crosby's flag on the play. Yeah, especially that deep ball too should have had a flag on it. But 2x2 set here. Jalen Hurts in shotgun. Saquon Barkley in the game. 3rd and 6. Big yards down. Big down yardage. That's what I meant to say. Fade ball, that's PI. That's so PI. I don't even care. That is so PI. Darren Porter in coverage on Darius Cooper. Yeah, that just tackled him right out the end zone. No, I mean, don't get me wrong, Waze fan. I would love the high draft pick. I would. But yeah, I mean, if they win, I still want to celebrate. And if they lose, then I also celebrate. You're not changing my mind on that just because that's how you feel. So, with that being said, unfortunately, good to get the Eagles into goal-to-go situations here, right at the 5-yard line here. By the way, Steeler Rob, what's good? How are you doing today, Rob? How are you been? 1st and goal, run up the middle for Saquon. Uh-oh, don't get down to that 1-yard line here. Don't get down to that 1-yard line. That's not what you need to do right now. You do not want to be at that 1-yard line, okay? 2nd and goal coming up. But yes, I'm good at watching the Eagles game right now. Very nice, very nice. I'm glad to hear that you're doing good. Anything new in life? Still living the life, man? Great to see you in here, by the way. How does Goddard not catch that? Oh, yeah, I might be a little behind. I guess the play-by-play is a little bit. Anywho, let's see what happens here. It looks like this play is going to be for Dallas Goedert. Oh, yeah. How do you not catch that? It's wide open in the flat route. Get your second touchdown. I'm a fantasy owner of Dallas Goedert. I got him for a trade for Drake London. And he would have been up. He would have got more points. He would have got so many points. So many points. Woody Mark's looking good, though. Holy crap. The Houston defense must be obliterating the Cardinals. Holy crap. How do you not catch that, Dallas? What are you doing? Please win for my Cowboys, Mason. I'll try. I think I'm not out there, but I'm rooting for him, Mason. 3rd and goal. Give it to Dallas Goedert. Here we go. It's not. It's going to be a Max Crosby sack, baby. It's going to be a Max Crosby sack. 4th and goal coming up. Looks like Jake Elliott is going to come out there. Gonna just have to take the field goal if you're the Eagles and Nick Sirianni. Dallas Goedert misses a wide open flat touchdown on 2nd down. Max Crosby able to get past lineman Fred Johnson. Mind you, not to confuse that for Lane Johnson. So, unfortunate. Steelers don't play until tomorrow, so I figured scope the Eagles game today. Do the Eagles have a game again? No, they don't. I already looked. But very nice, nonetheless. And like I mentioned, Nationers, the Eagles, Jake Elliott, gonna knock that one through. Score is 0-10 in the 2nd quarter. About 13 minutes left. By the way, my Cowboys play against the Vikings. That's gonna be a fun game. Because it's like the Vikings actually do have a decently good secondary. You know? Like, they have a decently good secondary. I think a lot of people don't really realize because it's just kind of Steelers. But very nice. That should be a ton of fun. Yeah, definitely a must-win game. And I know obviously you need a few losses from the Commanders for the Eagles to lose to Commanders. So, yeah, it's a must-win game. Lose and we're out. I don't think it is. I mean, maybe you know a little bit better than me. I know that losing to the Lions does not help. The Vikings, again, being must-win. Well, yeah, mind you, Mason, mathematically you're not out because you could end up with a tiebreaker against them. But yeah, the Eagles are definitely not going 1-3. Definitely not. I mean, they would have to win today's game, lose against the Commanders twice, and then they're obviously their week 17 matchup. So, mind you, I don't think that happens, but yeah. Yes, of course, Jared. I have a John Cena, it's not autographed by him. I mean, it's autographed, but it's just like mass produced. I got it at a WWE event that I went to. But yeah, I have him up on my wall. I saw that he retired. I didn't get to watch the match. I saw that he had tapped out, though. That's about it. About all that I know so far. Zay, thank you so much for hitting that follow button. Yeah, I saw it was his last fight ever. He said that I know that there was a few things that he said, like he'll kind of still be around, but not actually fighting, of course. Wrestling, that is. So, yeah, it's a little bittersweet after 23 years. I mean, I was alive for his entire WWE career, but yeah, I know a lot of people are upset about him tapping out, which mind you, I guess you could overrule it, but Undertaker, Bret Michaels, Kurt Angle, Shawn Michaels, I think I said The Undertaker, The Rock even. All of them lost their final matchups. The Undertaker's unbeaten streak, on his final match, he lost. And so typically it is written for a lot of the stars to kind of lose their last match, which kind of a bad thing to do, if I'm being honest. But, yeah, Randy Orton was actually a handful of those. I actually won against a handful of those. That's all you're getting on your TikTok feed. Very nice. Very nice. Yeah, it is kind of like Tom Brady retiring. It is. Somebody that's the GOAT. He has the most world championships in WWE history. It's like an end of an era. It's obviously there's been so many different eras over the past, decade, the 2 decades of WWE. But yeah, it does feel a little weird that he's not there anymore. Fumbled the kickoff here, where he most are able to gather it here. Hopefully not actually fumble it, but he's going to be down at the 31-yard line. Can he pick it back out there, by the way? But yeah, Nationers, great to see you guys in here. If you guys are watching on YouTube, thank you guys so much. You guys can always find these full-length replays up on Jared Hathaway Plus, by the way, Nationers. After today's video, I will be doing, what is it? I will be doing a video for my Raiders rebuild. Kenny Pickett under center. Ashton Genty with a run to the right. He's going to be tackled after a gain of 3. Morning Wood, welcome in. How you doing today? Game already over. Thank you, Cody. I think the game was already over before the game even started, but thank you for telling me now that some points have been scored. 2nd and 7 coming up. Let's see what the Raiders got dialed up here. Alex Kappa not been so great. He let up a few sacks so far in this game, but Kenny Pickett able to be mobile when he does have time. So 3-by-1 set here. Kenny Pickett in shotgun. Ashton Genty behind him. Play action. Kenny Pickett across the middle. Right at the feet of Trey Tucker. He saw Cooper. Excuse me. He saw Reed Blankenship, another white guy on the defense. I knew Cooper DeJean wore 33. Unfortunate as it is. Going to be right at the feet of Trey Tucker. I know that there's been a lot of Raiders fans that have came into the stream and been like, man, we should just start Kenny Pickett. Like, might as well. We got nothing to lose, you know. And I've always said that Gino will always be the starter unless he's injured, which now he's got a little shoulder injury for the week. Ashton Genty brought back to the backfield. 3-by-1 set again. Ashton Genty to the left this time. 3rd and 7. Tyler Lockett in motion. Cooper DeJean going with him. Look deep. Kenny Pickett escapes the pocket. Oh, Ashton Genty right at his knees. Got to catch it. A little low as he's trying to back up and gain some yardage. Try and convert on 3rd down, but not able to catch that one. Genty claws. I was in a stream watching this. He was giving out Madden copies, but yeah, Ashton Genty not able to get that little hook and curl right at his feet. Kenny Pickett taking a lot of not necessarily hits. The hits haven't really hits. It's just, yeah, Ashton Genty's got to catch that. It's right at his knees, especially for how short Ashton Genty is. It's not much from his shoulders to his knees. But yeah, at least we don't get to see a Gino throwing picks this week. He hasn't thrown a pick in like 3 weeks, so it's actually been pretty good. At least from what I recall. Let me look. I'll look here real fast. Yeah, he's actually been pretty clean from a pick standpoint over the last handful of games. He threw one against the Chargers, which I don't, if I recall, that wasn't his fault. But yeah, Cleveland clean. I'll consider the Chargers clean and Denver clean, so clean pretty throughout. But yeah, who actually leads the league in interceptions? I'm assuming it's him. But just maybe. Just maybe. Let me go to... Did I find another interception leader? NFL. Got to be another website for this. Game over, Jared Hathaway. We not coming back. Yeah, I don't think so either. But, you know, you're still watching the games. You know, what is it? We're giving some nice play-by-play for the game today. Giving some nice play-by-play. Yeah, Tua and Gino both got 14. Who does Miami play this week? Because every team's in action. There's no way there's a bye. No, Miami plays Pittsburgh. Could see a pick in that game. I just woke up and this is the first thing I see. My day is ruined. Sorry to hear that. Hey, you know, you get to choose your attitude for the day. And if this is one thing that upsets you, maybe you got to reevaluate. You know, maybe you got to reevaluate that, you know, a 0 to 10 score ruining your day right as you wake up should not be the thing that dictates your day. So, with that being said, we are basically at game break because of the punt. New England up 14-0 against Buffalo. Baltimore and Cincinnati is still 0-0 heading into the second. There are 10 minutes left in the second. 11 minutes and 30 seconds left in the Jacksonville Jets game. That one's actually 21-7 in favor of the Jags. KC's up 7-3 against the Chargers. Houston's up 17-7 against the Arizona Cardinals. But Arizona is at a goal-to-go situation. Now, the Browns are down 0-14 heading into the second. Washington up 10 to the Giants. I would also prefer the Giants to win that game, too. Need the Giants win that game. We have some really good games later today, though. We have Indianapolis versus the Seahawks. We have the Packers versus the Broncos. We have the Titans versus the 49ers and the Panthers versus the Saints. It'll be a really good second half slate. Should be used to getting BTA if you're a Raiders fan? Thanks. I don't know why you type that. Like, what? You spend 10 to 15 seconds of your life just typing that because you had the thought to type it. For what reason? Jalen Hurts under center, play action, dump off to Saquon Barkley. He's going to go a little east to west here. He's going to get about 8 yards, though. But yes, you got the Steelers. I got the Steelers beating the Dolphins tomorrow. The Dolphins do need to win out. Like, the Dolphins very well still could make the playoffs. They need a lot to go right, saying they're in the hunt, but it would be kind of funny if they were able to make it. So, second and 2 coming up. 0-10 ball game, however. Jalen Hurts in shotgun here. Under center. Like he was in shotgun from the other angle. Pyramid formation, one receiver, one tight end to each side. Going to be a run for Saquon. Another tackle for loss. It's going to be the third of the day for Saquon. Not able to get his run game going. He's had a few good positive runs, but anything to the left has been going for negative yardage so far. 2 tackle for losses running to the left. So, 3rd and 6 coming up. What has Nick Sirianni got dialed up here? By the way, RB rushes for negative yards this season. Raiders have the highest, and the Philadelphia Eagles have the second highest. So this should not be a running type of game. See what Jalen Hurts can do in the air. 1-by-3 set. Saquon Barkley not in the game. Flip pass out to Tank Bisbee. Not able to hold that one in. I don't even know what happened. I looked away to figure out who it was because I was looking at number 37 on my depth chart here. Not able to catch that one in. Let's see what happens here on the replay. As Tommy Eichenberg was sitting there in the passing lanes. Got a hit on Jalen Hurts. And yeah, Tank Bisbee not able to haul that one in. A little inaccurate by Jalen Hurts. So, yeah. I am very tired, by the way. I got like 6 hours of sleep, so. And the night before that, I got about 3 hours of sleep. So we are drained, Nationers, but we are still here. We are showing up for you guys. Still showing up, Nationers. Going to be fire, fire, fire. The ball was a little bit shorter than expected. Number 7, Bingo. Bingo was like, oh, he got kind of Ringo. Kelly Ringo. That was kind of funny. And Glenny, all that just tells me that you have no idea about anything that's going to happen at free agency, but that's okay. Are the Raiders' offensive line is terrible, Jared? Yeah. Yes and no. When we have our starters in, we're not like half bad. I mean, we're probably still like 22nd, but like 18 to 22nd best line. But without Colt Miller and Jackson Powers-Johnson, your 2 best linemen at left tackle and right guard / center, yeah, your offensive line looks pretty bad. Caleb Rogers, the rookie's been playing, which is good, but you signed Alex Kappa in free agency this year. Not great there because he was the worst offensive graded guard last season, and you went out and signed him, so that's not a good look. But, yeah, I'm pretty hopeful that the Raiders will have a good offseason if they do the right things. There's going to be a lot of, There's going to be a lot of offensive linemen that are going to be free agents this upcoming season and whatnot. By the way, bro, I've been watching the Raiders suck for 30 years. Well, I think your math's a little wrong there, but that's okay. That's okay, Glenny. But yeah, I feel bad for Gino. He hurt his back. Did he? Yeah, I thought it was his shoulder, but maybe he played with his shoulder. I could be wrong. I know he went out with the shoulder. But yeah, I mean, here's the thing. Next season, off season that is, right? You're looking, let's say if you draft a quarterback, Fernando Mendoza, you have a bunch of linemen that are going to be free agents. You spend some money, go out and go get some really good vets. You could actually be decently good. Fill out the holes on the defensive line, whether that's you draft them, which again, Pete Carroll's not like, he's like allergic to playing rookies, but at least you have them. And then also maybe just signing some people because people want to play for a winning team. And if you sign some linemen because you draft the quarterback, you see the domino effect kind of roll. So, you know. I never really trust anyone's opinion on NFL when they just kind of hate on most things and they're not actually like, what do you look at the positives of things? So, Glenny, unfortunately, whatever you have to say, I don't fucking care, unfortunately. So, yeah, he hurt his shoulder and his back. So, owie. Big boo-boo. Put a big Band-Aid on it. Got to put a big Band-Aid on it. Joe Biden's at the game? What the hell? They show Mike Trout and Bradley Cooper. Joe Biden's just at the game. That's so funny. He's like all dripped out in some Eagles gear. Here we go. 1st and 10. Trey Tucker in motion. He'll run to the right for Ashton Genty. Cuts this one back. Going to be tackled right at the line of scrimmage, but he might be able to get 1 yard. Ashton Genty, oh man, been able to see him, not been able to see him over the past handful of games. Been able to see him for the last handful of games because of, what is it? I've not been able to see him get any positive yardage or big runs for the past handful of games. If any, just one. That's been about it. So, Greg Olsen, what are they dialed up here? I would hate to be a coordinator, dude. Especially a bad one. This is the same formation, the same play, a run for Ashton Genty again. He's going to get more than 1 yard this time. Able to spin out of a few tackles, but he's only going to get about 3. 3rd down coming up. The Raiders probably, I would not be surprised if the Raiders had the most 3 and outs. I would not be surprised. I'd genuinely be surprised if they are not. Like, it actually would surprise me if they do not have the most 3 and outs of any team. It would genuinely surprise me. 3rd and 6 here coming up. 9 minutes left in the second quarter. 0-10 ball game. Kenny Pickett in shotgun. Raheem Mostert in the game. Tyler Lockett calling the coverage. Trey Tucker in motion. He's on a crossing route. Kenny Pickett's in the pocket. Gonna take a sack. Gonna take a sack. Is that Jalen Phillips in there celebrating? Who was it? That's number 50. Is that Brandon Graham again? I see those arms. He's got very distinctive, like, bicep, tricep sections, like upper arms. He's got very distinctive arms because he's a defensive tackle. But Brandon Graham able to get another sack here today. Might be able to stat pad some of his stats of his entire career. Gets the ankle of Kenny Pickett, and he goes down. So, 4th and 13. Got to punt this one away. AJ Cole, deep punt. Deep punt. Going to return this one after the bounce. Number 18 breaks a tackle. Number 18, Britton Covoy. Who? I love that they just, like, throw some random receiver or cornerback in on, like, punt return sometimes. I absolutely love it. It's so funny to me. It is so funny to me. So, with that being said, Eagles back out there on offense. Are they able to go down and score again? Or are they going to have to punt this one away? Let's find out. Yeah, sure, I'm tired. Eagles got to score a touchdown right now, Jared. It'll be 17-0. Thank you, Isaiah. Thank you. But what about if they don't? What about if they score a touchdown? Well, just because they score a touchdown doesn't mean it's automatically 17-0. You know what I mean? By the way, Glenny, I'm not mad. You're the one that just has such a negative out view on, like, life, dude. Like, you gotta, like, really look at your mirror in the mirror and, like, check yourself, dude. Because your attitude actually stinks, like, unfortunately. Sorry if that's the hard truth, and sorry if you don't like it, but get to learn to love it. 1st and 10, 3-by-1 set. Jalen Hurts hands it off to Saquon Barkley. He's going to get about 4 yards on 1st down. Now, like I mentioned, they showed a stat that said that the, something about, like, the running backs tackled at the line of scrimmage or behind it. The Raiders were the highest with a 17%, and 14% was the Philadelphia Eagles of the second worst. And that was what was going on there. So, yeah. Saquon also, he's, like, down on the sideline. What happened? Is he okay? What happened? Maybe he just got the wind knocked out of him? I don't know what happened. He, like, ran to the sideline. Take Bisbee back into the game. 2nd and 6 coming up. 2-by-2 set and bunch formation. Monte Smith motions out. Jalen Hurts looking that way. Steps up inside the pocket. Going to take it on his own feet, on his own accord. Jamal Adams in pursuit. Handful of yards. 3rd and short coming up. By the way, India, thank you so much for sharing the live stream. Much love out to you. I hope that you're doing well. There is a flag on the play. Probably is going to be a holding call. Or Isaiah Palomeo. They're looking at him. Holding. defensive holding. So going to be a first down, I believe, for the Eagles here. I believe so. Let's see here. Yeah, why the hell are you holding Dallas Goedert like 15 yards down the field like they're not going to call something? Like, how do you, as a what do you call it? As a professional NFL football player, like, how is that what you're doing back there? That's a really bad tendency. Devontae Smith in motion, 2x2 set now. Jalen Hurts hands it off to Saquon. Excuse me, Tank Bisbee, the tankster. He gets a handful of yards on first down. Going to be second and short. For some reason, I thought Saquon was back in. I don't know what happened. Saquon, like, went out. It looked like he got the wind knocked out of him, but I'm unsure of, like, what happened. So, 2nd and 2 coming up. Jalen Hurts in shotgun, 1x3 set. A.J. Brown spread out wide. I have a feeling we might see, like, a slant of sorts, especially with the linebackers dropping down. It is not. It's going to be a run for Tank Bisbee. He gets the first down. Not able to stay on his feet as the pocket closed. The gap that he shot through closed. He's going to be down at the 46-yard line in Raiders territory here. Kind of hard. I hate Fox's broadcast because they're so tight on the, like, cameras. Like, you can't tell the yardage. You just see the lines, but you're like, you have no idea where they're at on the field. And, like, all of a sudden, then they're at, like, the 20. And then all of a sudden, they're at, like, the 10. You know what I mean? But that Raiders 46. I think Bisbee's still in the game. Devontae Smith has done so much running in the backfield today. Play action. Dallas Goedert in the flat. See if he catches it. This time he does. Tight roams the sideline. Gets the first down. Lonnie Johnson set to the ground. Lonnie Johnson Jr. He was on IR for most of the season, but our starting free safety here, Devin White. Oh, Devin, what are we doing, man? Devin White might be cooked. He is one of the leading tacklers. Oh, my God. It happened again. Happened again. Ay, 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 ay. What in the world happened? We got to run up the middle for Tank Bisbee again. That goes for 4 yards. Oh, my God, dude. It keeps going down, dude. I don't know why it keeps happening. I don't know why, man. Oh, the stream keeps going down. I don't know why. It's kind of frustrating. It's so frustrating. The live stream keeps going down, Nation, on TikTok, so I do apologize. 2nd and 6 coming up after that Tank Bisbee 4-yard run. Jalen Hurts play action. Looking for a screen pass, maybe. It's not going to go. It's going to be Dallas Goedert across the middle. He's going to be tackled right at the 21-yard line. 17-yard line, it looks like. They are in the red zone here. 1st and 10 would get them with a goal-to-go situation. But yeah, guys, my TikTok live keeps going down, so I do apologize. I don't know why it keeps going down, but it keeps going down here, Nationers, which is not great. But yeah, Dallas Goedert getting a lot of touches here, which I like, especially for my fantasy. Look at how much we got. Woody Marks also doing well. Jalen Hurts taking this one on his feet on a little run pass option. Eric Stokes on the pursuit. Yeah, 28-26. I just have a lot of players playing right now, which is kind of rough. So I need Dallas Goedert's got to do something. Michael Wilson's got to do something. Asher Jency, Joe Burrow's got to do something. What's Joe Burrow doing, dog? What is he doing? Is he doing anything? Is he doing anything? Sun Kid, what's good? Welcome in. Oh, by the way, Junior, how are you? Yeah, Tank Bisbee got, like, super confused. Tank Bisbee thought the ball was going for him, but Jalen Hurts pulled it for himself. 2nd and 6 coming up. Jalen Hurts under center. By the way, started Phillip Rivers or Joe Burrow. Am I winning? You probably will. Run up the middle for Saquon Barkley. He's back into the game. He's going to get a handful of yards. 3rd and short coming up. But yeah, I think Phillip Rivers over Joe Burrow is not a bad start. I have Joe Burrow starting. I guess I probably could have also started like Sam Darnold. That probably was who I should have started, but I also didn't even look at it. I also did not look at it, but that's okay. I think Phillip Rivers will do just fine. 9 points versus 18. I think he'll be just fine. It's also the 1 o'clock games that he comes in. 3rd and 3. Let's see what Jalen Hurts. No motion out of the tank. Jalen Hurts Going to take this one on his feet. He gets the first down. Not able to tightrope the sideline. It's going to be first and goal from the 2-yard line. Eric Stokes in on the out-of-bounds play there. Joe's predicted 18. I mean, yeah, that's... I think they also expect a lot of touchdowns, especially given that their Thanksgiving game was kind of crazy. But, yeah, not been like that so far. It's only 0-7 so far, so... Yeah. By the way, Eagles win by shutout. I would not actually be surprised. There's a lot of 3-and-outs. I needed A.J. Brown touchdown. Well, let's see. They're at the 2-yard line. They could do a double tush push. It is a 2-minute warning here, Nationers. Let's look at some scores from some other early morning slates. Mind you, Nation, I live on the Pacific Coast, so this is early morning for me. The Bills are down 0-21, but they are at the New England 7-yard line, down 0-21 against the Patriots. Baltimore up 7-0. They score against Cincinnati. 7-21, the Jets are down against the Jags. The Chargers are down 3-10 against the Kansas City Chiefs. The Cardinals are down 7-20 against the Houston Texans. Cleveland is down 0-14 against the Bears. And Washington is up 13-0 against the Giants. Yeah, no tush push. Yeah, I don't think that they will here. I mean, they could run back to back tush pushes. We could see 4 tush pushes in a row. That is very possible. But I don't think that will happen. Yeah, I really like the style of offense that the Patriots play. It's obviously the Josh McDaniels offense, of course. But I really like that style. Like, you get your guys in the slot. You get your deep ball passes. You know, you have Kashawn Bodie out there. You have Stephon Diggs, the kind of go-to guy. Like, I really like that style. I really like the Patriots growing up, like not the team, but just like that. They did it before. I think it was in 2022. You're talking about 4-4. They've done 4 tush pushes back to back to back. I know they've done that this season. How's it Josh McDaniels with the Raiders? God awful. That's like, if you hire Josh McDaniels as your head coach, it is like a death sentence for your team for like the next 3 years. Mind you, they actually did like, surprisingly did okay for what it was, but they also did not do great at the same time. I'm not huge as a Josh McDaniels head coach. I was not huge when the signing happened either. I am more of a, just let him play for the Patriots and like just stay there for the rest of your career. Yes, Carter, we just got to lose the rest of the season. And we do need, if we're looking for the first overall pick, we do need the Titans to win one of their games, which, looking at the matchup today against the 49ers, they probably lose that. But, let's see. They do play the Saints. They do play against the Saints. And the Saints, they look good, don't get me wrong. They do look good, but they're probably the best matchup to win. We need Tom Cable back. He brought fire into that locker room. We need, who is it? We need Lane Kiffin back in our locker room. I don't think many people know that Lane Kiffin was there during, like, the Jamarcus Russell era. We need him back. Not for good reasons, but just for the fun of it. This is a long 2. This is like a 2.5 yards. So first and goal from the 2.5 yard line. Jalen Hurts in shotgun here. Run for Saquon Barkley. He's going to get the touchdown. Morningwood, you got the touchdown that you were looking for. The Eagles score. I'm sure that they're going to score the extra point. So we're going to make this a 17-0 game. I'm sure Jake Elliott will score. I love Eagles fans because it's so funny to me when you have like grown men and Raiders fans alike. Mind you, it's like the exact same thing. But I love when you have just grown men just dressed to the nines with like football pads and face paint and a costume. I love it. I love fandom like that. I absolutely love it. But yeah, Saquon gets a touchdown on a 2-yard run. So that's going to be another 6.2 points for fantasy owners there. Luckily, I am not going against Saquon today, but I am going up against Jahmyr Gibbs against the Rams. So that should be pretty interesting. I'm exhausted, Nation. I'm exhausted. There's a lot of flurries there in the game, by the way, but it's kind of funny because they do kind of look like flags, but the flags are like being thrown from like, I don't know, the top, the last row of fans. That's what it looks like. So, Saquon Barkley gets his 2-yard run, his first score of the game. Score 0-17. And also, in my Raiders rebuild, by the way, Nations, the Raiders are in the playoffs. They're 7-6 right now in my Raiders rebuild. Feel free to go watch that on the Jared Hathaway Plus channel. But what's most important is that the Eagles are also the best team in the league. And the Raiders are playing with Kenny Pickett as a starting quarterback because Baker Mayfield is hurt. So, not great there. But yeah, I am very tired, Nation. I am so tired. I'm so tired, Nationers. I am so tired. But we are moving and grooving, Nationers. That's what we got to do. Seth, what is good? Welcome back, Seth. How are you? Great game for the Eagles. Definitely a good bounce back game for sure. 100%. I'm sure that they were very happy, especially after the 5 turnover game and like lost in overtime. And yeah, I'm sure that they were very happy to just like, okay, this should be a good win. By the way, your mom fat. Thank you. Thank you for telling me. By the way, Dragon Ball Z 007, like Raiders have a chance, and Eagles fans thinking they're a good team. Yeah, I mean, to be honest, Dragon Ball, I think the Eagles are still a pretty good team. Are they like the championship caliber team from last year? Very much so. But they're just not as potent as they were last year because there are a lot of teams that understand how they've been playing. They have a year worth of footage on them. But yes, I agree, JD. Finley, what is good? Welcome in and morning. Thank you so much for the 1 rose. Much love out to you. So when is it time to fire the whole coaching staff? When is it time? It's probably been time. It's probably been time. But the unfortunate part is that, yeah, Mark Davis is not seeing it that way either. And I guess as a GM, the GM doesn't really have much GM power to just get rid of people like that. It's got to take some times. Bro, do we got to fire Patolu, the offensive coordinator? Is he the offensive coordinator for the Eagles? I believe I've only heard him in terms of the Eagles, so I'd assume so. I think it's like a 75-25. I think part of it is just like Jalen Hurts being slightly inaccurate at times, but also the play calling looks like the play calling does not look as, or here's how I should say this. The play calling looks very one-dimensional for the Eagles. Like, I feel like they could widen their horizon so much. And when they do really good, right? When they do really, really, really good. You know what I mean? I do too. I mean, Jalen Hurts missed a few, like, easy checkdowns today. He missed a few checkdowns today. You know, just like, or like balls that need to be on the front shoulder and not the back shoulder. Just things like that. Don't get me wrong. I think Jalen Hurts has some good qualities as a quarterback. You know, I like his story from Alabama, like coming in during the, championship game and lead him in the second half. Like, I like that story. 1st and 10, Kenny Pickett, play action. We got a nice little levels concept here. Brock Bowers breaks a tackle. It's going to be 1st and 10 for the Raiders after, again, a touchback. And now they get the ball here. Oh, you guys can't see. You guys are just seeing my fantasy. I apologize. You guys cannot see this here. How am I so far behind? How is the play-by-play so far ahead? Like, we already have an Ashton Jeanty run here. Oh, my gosh. So, let's see what we got going on here. Yeah, there's a little Ashton Jeanty 6-yard pass here. Zach Bond, and yeah, there's that. I agree. I agree. He definitely is a one-look quarterback most of the time. He's not like looking, and mind you, I think a lot of the play calls aren't asking for a lot of progression. There's not like, okay, I need to watch this player, see if they're open. If the linebacker goes this way, I know that guy's not open. Oh, what was that? I think the ball got hit, but damn, that was almost just as bad as when Kenny Pickett had a freaking cinder block in his hand. Yeah, okay. So his arm did get hit. Okay. It did look like it. It was hard to kind of see the exact hand there. But yeah, that was quite funny. But yeah, again, I think a lot of it is just play calling, Bando. And that's when you give a lot of play calls that aren't so much progression based, they're just like, oh, who's open? You probably just look at the one guy that you probably predict is going to be open. Nice little slant route for Brock Bowers. They get the first down on third down. Their first third down conversion of the day, if I'm not wrong. So Kenny Pickett and hurry up offense. Obviously, the Raiders under 2 minutes here with 1 minute and 10 left. Kenny Pickett, Raheem Mostert into the game. Kenny Pickett steps up into the pocket, finds Raheem Mostert, but he's going to be tackled right as he catches the ball by number 17, Nakobe Dean, the linebacker there. Under 1 minute left, Kenny Pickett and hurry up offense. I don't know what is more undefeated than that. Last game it happened twice, actually. 2nd and 8 coming up. 44 seconds. Kenny Pickett steps up into the pocket, throws off his front foot. Too high for the short Trey Tucker as he is on a comeback route trying to get to the boundary. Just going to be a little bit too high. But yeah, I can't put all the blame on like an offensive coordinator like that, but as an offensive coordinator, you should be able to express your offense a lot more. Like, I would like if Jahan Dotson got involved more. Like, I will say the play calling looks a little bit like the Raiders with how many motions Devontae Smith has been in. It's like Tyler Lockett or Trey Tucker in motion or Jacoby Myers in motion. Obviously not in the team anymore, but 3rd and 8 coming up. Kenny Pickett in shotgun. 40 seconds on the clock. Looking for the sticks. Too high for Tyler Lockett. Probably just going to have to punt this one away here. By the way, Peter Gazer, yeah, he also did get a little banged up. Looked like either like a clavicle to like shoulder, neck, something of that sort. He was doing some yoga twist out on the sideline. Looked like he had a little stinger of sorts. But defensively, I will say the Eagles look just fine. And I'm not saying that's just because the Raiders. Yeah, I would like to see Devontae Smith get some more action. I just hate that they constantly have him in motion. It's like here we go. We got a run back here by Britton Covoy. He's going to be tackled at the 20-yard line. But like I mentioned, like it does look a lot like the Raiders, just like offense where you have all your guys, you have a guy in motion just to see if it's zone or man. It's like any good team, and especially quarterback wise, should be able to know who is like if it's man or zone. And you're going to be able to tell like right off rip. You just are. And it's always so frustrating because it gives it right away. It's like, oh, I need this extra time to see if it's man or zone. Mind you, I could also see the side of it of like, okay, if they don't go, or if they do go, then you do this and you do that. You do something different because of that. But as a whole, it's not like great. Is Brown even playing today? Yeah, he is. J5K, thank you so much for that follow button. Welcome to the nation. He had a ball backside shoulder that got PI, so he is playing. 1st and 10, run up the middle for Saquon. He's gonna be tackled by Max Crosby here after forward progress was negated. 2nd down coming up. I think they're just taking this one to the half, man. Just taking this one to the half, man. You got to. I think you got to if you are the Eagles here. You're up big, 17-0. I think you just take it for what it is. The Raiders, 0. The Eagles, 17. We head into half here, Nationers. We head into half. Like I said, they've still looked at A.J. Brown. They have still very much looked at A.J. Brown, guys. Kind of hard to do anything as a receiver when Jalen Hurts has only thrown 10 passes in the first half. Mind you, just to give some context on who they've actually gone to, okay? 2 targets for Devontae Smith, okay? Long of 44. So he's got 1 6-yard catch and 1 44-yard catch. Dallas Goedert has been targeted 4 times, okay? Saquon has been targeted 3 times. Mind you, just checkdowns. So it's like, okay. Tank Bigsby another time. So 4 catches to targets. 4 targets to running backs. 2 catches by running backs. Now, I did say A.J. Brown, he was targeted one time on a back shoulder throw. It was PI'd. So that obviously does not count as a target because you take the penalty. He's been looked at. And you kind of haven't been able to do much, or really not anything at all. A lot of just runs by Jalen Hurts, a lot of just checkdowns. That's been basically what Jalen Hurts has been doing today. That's basically it. Nationers, I need to go upstairs. I need to go grab my oats overnight, Nationers. I need to grab my oats overnight. I got to make sure to eat. Drake May's got back-to-back running touchdowns. Good for him, man. Drake May. I will be right back. Say hello to the chair, by the way. Chris P, thank you so much for hitting that follow button. Welcome to the nation. I will be back in no more than 30 seconds. All right, Nationers, we are back. Did Houston get a safety? Did the Houstons get a safety here, Nationers? What happened? Let's see what happened. Let us see what happened here, Nationers. Because I believe 23 doesn't make much sense. Because they were at 21. Nope. Field goal. Yeah. Oh, they were at 20. My bad. I didn't see that. Thought they were at 21. Sharon Moore fired for infidelity. Kind of crazy, by the way, Nationers. But, Nation, I got my oats overnight. Mind you, I'm not sponsored, but I do eat these quite often here. Browns O-line is horrible. It actually looked pretty bad. I don't know how, like, Shadur is done. He got 54, 4 of 10. Still pretty good. 15 yards. Average. That's not bad. He's taking a handful of sacks, though, it looks like. He's been sacked for 2 times. By the way, is AJ Brown not playing? He is. But there's been a lot of checkdowns and whatnot so far. And yeah, AJ Brown also, there was a PI call on him, so like he obviously can't catch the ball when he got PI'd. But yeah, he is playing. There has not been a lot of plays like past 10 yards, to be honest. Other than just like crossing routes or the deep ball to Devontae. That should have been called back anyways, but. Yeah, and also 4 of 54. Shadur's 4 of 54, and he's got one catch to one pass to Isaiah Bond for 42 yards. It's like, it looks good, but everything is all Harold Fannin. He's got 3 catches for 12 yards. How's Drake May doing? He looks like he's doing pretty good. Josh Allen's just struggling. He's 6 of 8. Got a touchdown, though. Must win for Buffalo, though. See how Lamar and... Oh, man. Yeah, they both threw him picks. Both took sacks. This one's just been a barn burner, dude. Is it like snowing in Cincinnati right now? That game looks awful. By the way, Sarita, MBL, thank you so much for hitting that follow button. Brady Cook is cooking, it looks like, 73 yards. Trevor Lawrence is doing all right. He's 11 for 150, 11 of 17 for 155 and 2 touchdowns. That's pretty good. He's actually hit Parker Washington on some deep balls here. 33 yards long, 16 long for Brian Thomas. Tutton for 16 yards long. Jacoby Myers for 21 yards long. That's been good. Justin Herbert's struggling. Guys, why is every team struggling right now? Like, every quarterback is struggling right now. The only good quarterback right now is Drake May. I'll throw Trevor Lawrence in the mix. I'll throw CJ Stroud in the mix. I'll throw Caleb Williams in the mix. But like all of these quarterbacks are not having fun. By the way, Aggie Eagleman, welcome in. Thank you so much for hitting that follow button. Welcome to the nation. Welcome to the realist community on the internet. But yeah, got Shador fighting for his life every play. Let's see. Let's see here, nationers. Let's see what we can find. Maybe we watch for a split second. Yeah, maybe we could watch for a split second. What? What? Oh, I'm on the wrong account. That's why. Michael Young, thank you so much for hitting that follow button. Welcome to the nation. Welcome to the realist community on the internet. Great to see you in here.
Luther Burden's just got to finish that. That's an opportunity for a run after a catch, too.
Luther Burden just got to finish that. Looks like there's going to be a punt here. Or no, just 2nd and 10. But yeah, nation, just eating my oats, by the way. Just got to make sure. I'm doing 75 hard right now. You guys might have heard of 75 hard or a little bit about it, but got to make sure to eat. Off the fingertips. Hop hard in there. If they don't score a single point, they got to fire the coaching staff. Yeah, at that point, it'd probably just be in the offseason. Like, if they haven't done it yet, they're probably going to just hang out these last 3 weeks. Fire him, like, right as the season ends. I only say that just because it's not like, one, you're fighting for anything. 2, you make it more apparent that, like, after the season, like, we do not want these people. And the other side of it, this is just my thought, is that when those hirings open up, a lot of, coordinators or teams that are probably going to make the playoffs, it gives them the opportunity to go in and, try and, I guess not audition, interview for it. By the way, put in AOC. I wouldn't mind seeing AOC in the second half, though. I would not honestly mind. Kenny Pickett's done, he's done a lot of things that I've liked, but also, it is also Kenny Pickett. How much longer until halftime is over? We got about 3 minutes left. 3 minutes left, nationers. Angie, what is good, Raider Nation? Raiders! Great to see you in here, Angie. How are you doing today? And you're very welcome, Mason. Yeah, we got about 3 more minutes, nationers, in case this is you guys the first time tuning into one of my live streams. I give play-by-play for all the Raiders games, and obviously today the Raiders are facing the Eagles, so we got a lot of Eagles fans. So if you're an Eagles fan, welcome in. I don't cover Eagles games, but I do cover the Raiders games. So if you enjoyed the Raiders, enjoy the team, or just a fan and want some play-by-play and aren't able to hear or even watch the game, this is a great opportunity for you guys to get some play-by-play while also getting some commentary on it as well. So make sure to hit that follow button. I need to open my window. It's hot here. It's a little hot in here, nationers. A little hot in here, I will say. Love that, Jesus. John, welcome in. Thank you so much for hitting that follow button. It's been so funny. It's so funny to me because when when Gino was obviously throwing a bunch of picks and just like the offense was not moving, a lot of people were asking for Kenny Pickett. And it's funny how the narrative just continues to shift. You know what I mean? And yes, the Raiders are losing, by the way, Jesus. Raiders! Cam, what is good? How you doing today? Watching the Caleb Williams masterclass here. Little hook and lateral. That one's not going anywhere. Did a little hook and lateral. Not going anywhere here. But yeah, we won the most games with AOC. Mind you, I guess that was last year, a little different team. But yeah, I like AOC. I know he's obviously a handful of weeks removed from actually coming back and returning and playing and all of that good stuff. So he's actually warmed up and prepped. I know a lot of people were asking for him I'm like, guys, he just came off of IR. His practice window just opened up. Like, he probably has not thrown a ball in a very long time. And to me, wins don't really matter in terms, I care about the ability, right? Because Joe Burrow's lost a lot of games in his career, right? But his ability as a quarterback is far or less like he can be a Super Bowl MVP, an MVP caliber quarterback. It's just that winning and losing is not on the quarterback every time. It is a team sport. The quarterback cannot play defense and the defense cannot play offense. You know what I mean? And so for me, like when we look at like, oh, like, well, this person got so many wins. Well, then you look at, then you have to talk about, okay, the running back got that many wins. You have to look at it from that side as well. Because I don't think it's appropriate to do like as such. Because it is very much a team sport. And if you're like, imagine your defense sucks like Joe Burrow and the Cincinnati Bengals. It's like the fact that they lose most of the games is not because of the offense and Joe Burrow, but it is because of the defense. And so why is that? You look at the ability of Joe Burrow, and that's the only denominator that I'm seeing is that. By the way, DB Killer, thank you so much for hitting that follow button. Welcome to the nation. Welcome to the realest community on the internet. I got to finish up my oats. By the way, TT, I am not showing the game. I'm just giving play-by-play for this game today. By the way, wow, Eagles finally playing a real team. Even if that is sarcasm, like it's not good sarcasm, but it's kind of funny. I wouldn't really call the Raiders like a real team. I mean, I guess every team's a real team. By the way, Kai, what's good? Welcome in. How are you doing today? Here we go. Dylan Laube returns this one from the 5-yard line here. Past the 30, down at the 36-yard line. Actually, 4 interceptions, but maybe it was 2 fumbles. I could be wrong. Hold on. Move. Stream. Here we go. By the way, Philip Romero, thank you so much for hitting that follow button. Kenny Pickett back out there on offense. Ooh, is that one going to be called an incomplete pass? I'm not too sure. Yeah, it is. Little low ball for Ashton Gentry. Right at his feet this time, not at his knees. A little hook and core route. Pickett will be traded to the Commanders next year. Probably not traded. Probably not traded. But I will say, depending on what Marcus Mariota does, I would not be surprised. I would not. I think Jacksonville will shock everyone, make it to the Super Bowl. They could be a very, like, sleeper team if they get the right matchups. And, like, I think a lot of people really do not see them as, like, they're like, they've just been under the radar. You know what I mean? By the way, nice score, nice. But, yeah. Ashton Gentry going to get a first down run after breaking a few tackles here. Got a little bit of help from his offensive line there and whatnot. Yeah, they've been very under the radar. Like a lot of they haven't been too flashy. They haven't been just like, oh, like wow, I can't believe like the Jacksonville Jaguars. Like, oh, it's okay, they're in the AFC South. You know, I think a lot of headlines are on the Colts and whatnot, especially in that division. Ashton Gentry with a flat route catch, a little 5-yard out. Reed Blankenship in on the tackle here. So, see what they got cooking in. Thank you so much, by the way, Bear versus Shark. I appreciate that a ton. Are you rooting for any team in today's matchup? Or are you just here for the energy and the vibes? But yeah, either that or who do you think Super Bowl? Denver and who? I had Denver and Eagles making the Super Bowl preseason. I'll give you my thoughts on it after this play. 2nd and 7 coming up. Brock Bowers in motion, 2x2 set. Brock Bowers into the flat route. Needs to break a tackle. He does. He's going to get the first down. Inbounds. Now back to your question. Yeah, on the AFC side, I mean, I think the Denver Broncos need a lot to go right, like matchup-wise. Because defensively, they kind of plateaued a little bit, but they're still pretty good. You know, they're not going like high potent sacks like, oh, wow, they got 7 sacks again, you know? It's going to be interesting to see how the Patriots do because they've had such an easy schedule. It'll be interesting to see how, you know, it looks like against some really good teams, especially maybe like against the Jaguars or something like that. It'll be interesting, but because who's technically in the playoff picture right now? Like I know, but I just want to make sure that I have the teams right. Like Houston. Oh man, I would not want to play Houston in the playoffs, man. I would 100% not want to play Houston. But like, here's the thing. Houston can make the Super Bowl based on their defense. Jacksonville maybe just because their defense is pretty good and their offense is at least capable of doing it. Chargers I'm a little iffy on just because offensively they do well, but they also don't do well at the same time. Kenny Pickett under center here. Play action. Looking into flat 4. Brock Bowers again after literally just running right into a defensive lineman. But 3rd down coming up. Here we go. But yeah, looking at that, like Pittsburgh's not a team that I probably look at the playoffs. Like they're probably just a one and done bounce and whatnot. But yeah, I think the Patriots probably make it to the 2nd round, of course. But I mean, right now they're facing Houston. I would not want to place Houston in the playoffs. I would probably say, looking at it, I think the Rams are probably the team to make it out of the NFC. That's probably my highest team pick, but I could see the Packers. I could see Seattle. Like, I could see the freaking Bears doing some shit, you know? And all of it's going to really depend on the matchup. Pick! Zach Bond! Zach Bond with the pick! Intended for Brock Bowers. Kenny Pickett revenge game spoiled. Zach Bond! Zach Bond. Wow, oh wow. But yeah, and then you're also looking at it like this. I know the Chiefs have an uphill battle. The Ravens have an uphill battle. What about if they make the playoffs? And then also the Lions, like the Lions aren't in the playoff picture right now. What about if they make the playoffs? Like there is a lot that could happen. I'm a Browns fan. Oh, that's right. More tough being from the same town as Burrow. Oh man, but lifelong Burrow fan. Hey, I do not blame you. You know, sometimes we don't choose our teams, but you know, we get to enjoy it. I hate Kenny Pickett more than Geno. I do too. I maybe don't like as a person. I probably like Kenny Pickett more than Geno. Well, probably about the same. I don't really know anything about him, but the flipping off, not like a huge fan of myself, at least from like a fandom thing. But yeah, with that, I said all season that Geno would still be the starter and that he will be the starter unless he gets injured. He was injured. Kenny Pickett is not a great quarterback. Mind you, he's got some good qualities about him, but not great. Waze Raider, thank you so much for hitting that follow button. I would like to see AOC in this game, man. I really would. I think it would be crazy if like the staff is looking at this and being like, wow, AOC is not better than Kenny Pickett in my mind. Sure, AOC has a few one-lookers, but play calling a little different too than last year. But yeah, the playoff, man, I like, generally it's going to really depend on matchups. Because if like the Patriots face the Houston Texans, I'm taking the Texans 10 out of 10 times. But if like, let's say the Patriots play the Bills again, I take the Patriots all day, you know? And it's not because I don't think that the Patriots are a bad team against Houston. It's because Houston's that good on defense. GB0, thank you so much for sharing the live, by the way. Sorry, I'm eating my oats out of my lid. Yeah, that ball's got to go to Michael Mayer there, man. Got to. Got to. Got to, got to, got to. Has to. No doubt in my mind. No doubt in my mind. No doubt in my mind, Nationers. No doubt in my mind. But yeah, Kenny Pickett gets a turnover. At least it's not a fumble. 2 gloves, Kenny Pickett. Zach Bond, high balls it right off Brock Bowers. I mean, mind you, the ball shouldn't even been thrown. Zach Bond's like sitting right in front of Brock Bowers. Dallas Goedert in motion. Jalen Hurts under center. This one's going to A.J. Brown deep. No, he goes to Dallas Goedert. Past the 50. Down at the 41-yard line. First down for Dallas Goedert and this Eagles offense on 1st and 10. Trying to keep this clock running because if this clock is running, the faster the game is over. We were the first game into halftime too, so. Stella Marvel 86, thank you so much for that follow button. Welcome into the nation. Welcome to the realest community on the internet. Why is A.J. Brown just having like a sit route? Why do you have your best guy just on a sit route? He's not a tight end. Especially on a play design like that. Get him into some space. 2x2 set. Run for Saquon. Tackle behind the line of scrimmage by Thomas Booker the 4th. Imagine being the 4th. Like, that's cool. Like, not being Thomas Booker the 1st, senior, junior, not the 3rd, but the 4th. That is what we like to see. Booker, very nice. Good on the tackle for loss on Saquon. 2nd and 12 coming up. See what they do here, of course. Jalen Hurts versus the zone today. 83% completion for 84 yards. Actually done pretty well. Maybe not a whole lot of yards, but I mean, mind you, the completion percentage does look a little scuffed because, like, yeah, they can still play zone, but he just gets a check down because the yards aren't adding up. Of course, Dallas Goedert with another catch. It's going to be tackled out of bounds backwards, so the clock will still run, which is good. 2 minutes, or fuck, 9 minutes and 40 seconds left in the 3rd. Why did I say 2 minutes? Guys, they got 2 minutes left. The game's nearly over. Game just started, guys. And I am dead tired. I am dead tired, guys. I say that for one of 2 reasons. I have not gotten a whole lot of sleep these past few days. We've been on that grind, Nationers. On that grind. 3rd and 8 coming up. Let's see what they call here. A.J. Brown in motion. 2x2 set. Rip it, baby. A.J. Brown on a double slant. They had a little Dallas Goedert slant. They had A.J. Brown on a slant. And, yeah. By the way, 5, why did I actually think the Raiders had a chance? It's tough. It's tough. I think you look at, like, what happened last week against the Chargers. You're like, oh, man, like, the Eagles look vulnerable. I don't think the Raiders are as good as a team as the Chargers, of course. And, you know, mind you, some games are just going to be like that. They're going to just be grinded out, fluky games, bunch of turnovers, 3rd down versions that don't go. So, yeah. By the way, Dakari, yeah, it's a 0-17 game. It's not the greatest, of course. But I thought the Raiders would at least do something. They've kind of done really nothing. They probably looked just as good as if Geno were in there. So, I guess the improvements haven't been that much. For some reason, I thought the Raiders were going to do more. Yeah, I kind of forgot that, I knew that yesterday Geno was out and that Kenny was going to start, but personally, I thought we would have a field goal up, you know. I don't think it was going to be a competitive game, but at least we thought we would have put up some points. Like, we are the lowest scoring offense this year. Yeah, or something, just something fresh to Dakari, you know. But I also think Kenny Pickett isn't that great of a quarterback. He's a lot more mobile than Geno, but he's just a younger Geno in my eyes. 2nd and 4. Saquon. Just a yard short here. Okay. 3rd and 2 with 2 yards short. That's a rough spot. Yeah, there's been a lot of people high on Mendoza. Obviously, winning the Heisman 2 helps, you know, beating Ohio State. You know, there's a lot of signs that lead him to be, you know, pick one. But yeah, I haven't really watched. I've seen Mendoza throw one pass, so I can't give you too much more than what I know there. There is a flag on the play. There is a flag on the play. Holding. Okay, so they get the first down, but unfortunately, 56, Tyler Skeen, he unfortunately does get called for the holding call. Must be chirping at someone. I don't know who he's chirping at. Is he chirping at the ref? Is he holding Jonah Lalu? Yeah, it's one of those ones like right into the gap, and yeah, you just got to let go there. That's a tough one. Yeah, I'm not too worried about stats. I don't really care about stats in college. It's good when they're good, but not every good player is always a good quarterback. I could care less about stats in college, especially from a quarterback standpoint. Most Alabama quarterbacks look really good, but they're really bad. You know what I mean? 3rd and 12, Jalen Hurts converts on a QB design rush. I really like him in these helmets, man. I like him in these helmets. They just fit him so well. Anyone wants to text the defense, there's a damn tight end running around wide open, I'll let them know. I'll put in a word with them. I'll let them know that there's a tight end. I think his name is Dallas Goedert, right? And then also Kylan Granson, right? And then also Grant Calcaterra. Any of those guys, they're running wide open, right? I'll let them know. Be wary for tight ends running across the field. Jalen Hurts setups at the 14.5-yard line. Pitch out to Saquon. See if they can set the edge here. He bounces out. He's going to be down. Well, not even down. He just ran out of bounds after a gain of 9. 2nd and 1 coming up. Yeah, personally, I don't look too much at stats as like a quarterback, because a lot of quarterbacks, like, again, mind you, it looks a little different when you start going like tier by tier, because there's some really good quarterbacks that play for like North Dakota State, right? And a lot of those like Division II or like lower Division I type of schools, and they do really good, right? But again, you have to base it on their ability. You have to base it on some general level of circumstances, right? Saquon Barkley. And again, at the combine, like, there are quarterbacks that don't do well in drills like that. You know what I mean? Like Tyler Shuck looked awful in his combine. But you look at the film and he's actually not a bad quarterback. And he's not a bad quarterback in the NFL. And most people are like, who? Like, why would they draft him? Look at his combine day. Like, yeah, it's a little concerning that maybe he didn't have a great combine passing drill. But when you look at the game film, the thing that probably matters the most, he looked decently good. So with that being said, Jalen Hurts setting up on a 1st and goal here at the 4-yard line. Shovel pass to Dallas Goedert. Get the edge. Get the edge. Oh, Devin White, brother, you just gave up on the play. You had no idea what was going on. You saw Saquon wasn't going out there. Dallas Goedert gets another touchdown, though. I do appreciate that for a fantasy owner. Let's see how my fantasy's doing here. See how they're doing. We got a pretty good chance to win here. 56 points put up. Dallas Goedert's got 25 of them, man. He could have had another touchdown, too. By the way, it is a pretty boring game, Pareda, but there's plenty of other games to watch if you're feeling bored. Good touchdown by them, though. You know, it's crazy that 2 games are in halftime right now. The Arizona-Houston game and the KC Chargers game are at halftime. Like, that's in halftime. Chicago game just came out of halftime. The Raiders they have 5 minutes left in here. There's a tight end on the field. There is. RDC, thank you so much for hitting that follow button. Is this RDC World or just RDC? This is like RDC Local. Welcome in. Hopefully you're doing well. Great to see you in here. Devin White's probably gonna... I feel like Devin White might actually get like drug tested for sports gambling. Honestly. But yeah, it was so funny. Some guy made a comment earlier. Like, somebody's like, we need to fire Pete Carroll. And somebody was like, the Michigan head coach Moore is he's unemployed. By the way, it's Timmy. God, being a Raiders fan is so tough to see, especially this season. I think that this season is probably one of the tougher ones to be a Raiders fan, because you at least had somewhat of high hopes going into the season that you'd be a competent team. You fill out the holes at linebacker and cornerback, and you obviously draft decently well, and a lot of things a little unfortunate. You lose Colton Miller and Jackson Bowers-Johnson, but that happened in week 8 by the first time they were both out. You had high hopes that you maybe might be in the hunt. So yeah. Yeah, exactly. I mean, God does things for a reason. So, some people just got to keep waiting. Look at Zachariah and Elizabeth, man. They waited forever for John. Okay. Sleepy Joe is straight up just collecting money from his grandkids at this point. I saw him on the sideline. It was so funny. They show Bradley Cooper. They show Mike Trout. And then just Joe Biden's on the sideline. You know what I mean? By the way, Moni, thank you so much for sharing the live, by the way. Much love out to you. And yeah, Lord knows he won't live long enough to spend the money. Hey, thank you so much, Dakota. How you doing today? I can't say big time. I know I just doing the watch parties. A lot of people join for the watch parties, Dakota. So yeah, it has nothing to do with the base streams. Like I'm not getting hundreds to 200s to 300s of viewers on a normal stream and whatnot. This is just for the watch parties. Watch us get our first overall pick and get a D end. Yeah, we go draft some guy from I don't even know, Iowa State, Fuck. That's what my concern is, that yeah, we might have a first or second overall draft pick. I don't really care regardless, because it's not like the Titans are drafting a quarterback anyways. Maybe they draft O-line. Maybe you're maybe that was your plan, but that should not be your plan. So even the second overall pick, I'm fine with. But yeah, it's just knowing the Raiders, just knowing the history of it, I'm just oh my God, they're gonna go out and go get Tyree Wilson 2.0. But yeah, I appreciate it, Dakota. Obviously it really matters to me what the base streams look like, but I'm really happy to just be here giving the watch parties and whatnot. I don't care about the number too much. Our first pick at this point should be a damn kicker. We get the first punter drafted first overall. That'd be so funny. Dylan Laube with a nice juke here. He's gonna be tackled at the 31-yard line, 32-yard line. Good for him, man. I know Dylan Laube. I cut him in my Raiders rebuild, which, mind you, Nation, if you guys have not checked out the Raiders rebuild on Jared Hathaway Plus, make sure to go check it out. It's out on the good old YouTubes. But check it out, Nation. I'm going to be recording my matchup against the Eagles right after this game, so you got to take out a little bit of vengeance after the shutout here. Oh, very nice. Running some arc raiders. Very nice. No, you're all good, Dakota. No, but I appreciate it, though. I'm glad you see it, my guy. Glad you see it. 1st and 10 here. Kenny Pickett still in the game. Could have been a false start by the center, but Ashton Genty with a run to the right. Probably could have swept that one a little bit wider, but he's going to be stopped forward progress here at the line of scrimmage. Who would have thought? But at least we could put up some kind of points on the board. I agree. I mean, for morale, yeah, absolutely. But because I think if we don't score it, the FTC is going to be on us or something. Pete Carroll's going to find himself in federal prison for gambling. He's on, man, we got to take the freaking under. Oh, they scored again. We got to go. We got to get the under. We got to get the under. We can't score. We got 3 and out. That's what he's telling himself on the line half the time. Kenny Pickett with a run option. This is not his Pittsburgh days anymore. He's going to be tackled for a loss of 1. Technically considered a sack because he did not hand it or pass it off. So it will be a sack considered for them. It's going to take another sack on the day. But yeah, we should just start our rookie quarterback and develop him or something in 3 games. Plus, he's on the practice squad. I know a lot of people are really high on Cam Miller. I like Cam Miller, but tell me one good thing beyond the first game that he had in preseason that he did. Not much, unfortunately. I watched all 3 preseason games. He had that great first preseason game, and then the second 2, he did not do so hot. Yes, mind you, let him develop another sack on 3rd down. This one's going to be number 3, Nolan Smith Jr. Oh, man. Yeah, that's Tom Brady's golden child. Mind you, he had one good game. I wouldn't say he had one good play, but he had definitely one good game. I mean, yeah, he struggled like a rookie would. I would understand a rookie, especially drafted deep into his draft class, not being as polished, especially coming from a lower D1 school. North Dakota State, one of those two. It's one of those lower D1 schools, but yeah, he's had one good game. And when he looked good, but again, when he came in, it was a bunch of 2nd and 3rd stringers. He would get chewed up by a lot of defenses. He made a lot of really good rookie mistakes that a lot of rookies do make. But he didn't make too many boneheaded plays, but yeah, are you trying to get him to be a really good quarterback, or are you just going to be like, oh, okay, just play it safe all the time. Play it safe all the time. Like when the opportunity arises, you got to take a shot, you know? Like, wait. Oh, you know, yeah, one good game. The last two were a little iffy, a few turnovers, you know, play decision-making, especially going up against some more like highly potent second stringers who are trying to make the roster. Yeah, it just wasn't as great. And again, I'm sure there's a reason that he's still on the practice squad. He has not been elevated. So, yeah, when you're paying a guy $37 million, you're probably still going to have him as your starting quarterback regardless. I understand the want, though. I 100% understand the want, Timmy. But if you're wanting a freaking quarterback and you want the overall pick, the first overall pick, that is, even second, whatever, then these final 3 games don't really matter. Like, maybe... oh, yeah, it's crap. Thank you, by the way, Patriots Forever. I forgot to add 24. Thank you. I completely got amazed by the Dallas Goedert shovel pass touchdown, by the way. I agree, Chef. I agree. But it's a tough ask. It's a tough ask for wanting a first overall draft pick and draft a quarterback and then want to develop a practice squad quarterback that had one good preseason game. It's a hard ask. I understand, like, Raiders fandom would want that. I would like to see him play, you know, but I understand that's not the reality by any means. And that should not be the reality of any fan. Because if he's that guy, then he would be starting, regardless of money. But I've always said Geno Smith is still probably your best quarterback. Aiden O'Connell probably second to that. But he's been out, so, like, I understand he probably, you know, he was emergency last week, came out in third. Hey, the Colts are going to start their 44-year-old practice squad quarterback. That's true. They are. They are technically, you know, going to elevate their guy that just came out of retirement, wanted to come back and see what he was made of. I'm glad that they did. That's funny because technically he was on the practice squad. Had to get elevated. It's kind of funny. Well, yeah, Phillip Rivers, I'm excited for him. I think he'll do really well. I mean, he ran Shane Steichen's system, and you know, when he was coaching down there in Alabama, and you know, he was his quarterback coach when he played for the Chargers, and he's got a great relationship with him. Offense looks very similar, and I think also Phillip Rivers has seen so many great defenses. He'll be able to diagnose. Mind you, it's going to look a lot different now. No! Why does this keep happening, man? Why does this keep happening? Why does it keep happening? Saquon with a little run, bounce out to the right. Guys, you'll never guess it. The TikTok live went out again, guys. The TikTok live went out again, man. Oh my God, why does the TikTok live keep going out, man? It's so frustrating. It's so frustrating, Nationers. We have so many people here. I don't know. If it's just because I'm saying Phillip Rivers? Do they not like that name? Is it just how I'm saying it? Like, I feel like that's probably been the most consistent thing. So annoying. So frustrating, too. So frustrating. 1st and 10. Jalen Hurts under center here. 3 tight ends set. Another run, this time for Saquon to the left. Needs to get a stiff arm. He does. He sets the edge. Tiptoes on the sideline. He's going to get a first down in Raiders territory here. Big first down yardage. They are driving here. Nation, sorry, my TikTok live went down. Apologize. I don't know what's happening. My Stream Elements thing just continues to get suspended. Which, it sucks, man. It sucks. I hate to see it every time, man. I apologize, Nationers. I apologize because you guys don't deserve that. You guys don't deserve that. We're having great conversations, and you know, now, Nationers, we're not even able to see anything. It's so frustrating. It's so frustrating. So frustrating, but that's okay. This time for Tank Bisbee up the middle, trying to keep this clock running. Gonna get one more playoff before the end of the third, depending on if it's pass or play, but at least one more. So, yeah, last season Saquon had 20-yard rushing attempts, 20-plus yard rushing attempts. This season he's only got 5. But I think against the Commanders he'll be able to up those numbers for sure. For sure. Let's see what they got here going. See what they got going here. 43 seconds left on the clock. Jalen Hurts in shotgun. 2x2 set. Run up the middle for Jalen Hurts this time. He's going to take a run option, and Jalen Hurts goes down. He's going to get sacked for the first time this game. Looks like his knee also kind of bent backwards. His left leg got stuck. He looks like he's going to hobble over to the sideline at the end of the third quarter here, Nationers. I hope this fourth quarter is as fast as Lightning McQueen in his prime. Ooh, I need to take a nap, Nationers. I need to take a nap. By the way, Ronnie, why do the Raiders even exist? Well, they do exist because somebody back in the day, decided to do something with that, and created a team, and then that became the Raiders. To LA, the Oakland, and yeah. Oh, Nations. I need to stand. Nations. I need to stand. By the way, Raiders used to be good back in the day. They did. Especially in the 70s and 80s, Nations. They were a fantastic team. Ken Stabler back in the day. Oh, man, they were cooking. They were a great team. A very good team. And they had a lot of... I mean, John Madden obviously being a great coach as well for the Raiders. Also helped a bunch, too. Sometimes just what you need. You just need great coaches, great players. I mean, Sketch was telling us this all along, man. Sketch was telling us special teams, special players. He was telling us, man. We were just getting reminded. We didn't realize what we were missing out on. You know, and I don't think a lot of people really realize what they're missing out on. You know, they have it good for a handful of years, especially like Patriots teams. They've been really good for this entire century so far. And, you know, KC, they've had a good decade or so. How many yards does Barkley have? He's gotten 78 on 22 carries and a touchdown. Fantasy-wise, he's got... and he's also got a handful of catches. Catches for yards, too. But, yeah. Sorry if I'm yawning. I'm on like 6 hours of sleep, and the night before was 3 hours of sleep, so it's pretty bad. I'm very tired right now. Last week, I was also very tired. But I was also not looking forward to this game being at 10 o'clock because I could have slept in. Like, I could have slept in, woke up at, like, noon. You know, an extra 3 hours, but not what we got going on here, Nationers, unfortunately. But, yeah, by the way, Nationers, welcome back. Sorry, my TikTok Live keeps going down because I use a plugin through OBS that normally, you know, it works just fine, but I must be saying something, or maybe I just need to reconnect it because it just keeps going down. And then when I look at, like, the details of the live suspended, it does nothing. By the way, Rams fan Hector was low-key wanting an upset. I probably wouldn't have expected. It would have been nice to see one. This probably would have been one of those weeks where you're like, okay, backup quarterback. He's got first week of first-team reps. Okay, you know, Eagles are kind of coming off a little slippery slope. They lost their last 3. And, yeah. Yeah, it would have been very crazy. This would have been probably one of the biggest upsets, other than, like, that Panthers-Rams game. I'm not surprised that, like the Panthers won. I'm surprised in the way they did it and how high scoring it was. You know what I mean? But 8, yeah, that's kind of that's where the signs are leading. We'll see if the Raiders do that in the draft. But Jalen Hurts back to pass. AJ Brown touchdown across the middle. And this is why Jalen Hurts doesn't turn the ball over. He's just better than Kenny Pickett. Sorry, I gotta do my little Rosie take there, guys. Even though it was used in the wrong sentence, but that's okay. I'm going to write this down just for a clip. But yeah, I'm not going to lie. I hope we lose all the next games. I do too, Timmy. I mean, we have to if we want that first overall pick. We also need the Titans to win either this week, which is kind of rough, or against the Saints. Saints look like the most likely. Who has it worse, Jets or Raiders fans? Probably. That's a great question, by the way, Hector. It's a great question. Oh, sorry. I got to also add the touchdown, by the way. Actually, Melissa, the score is 31-0, okay? The score is 31-0. Okay, I don't add it when there's a touchdown. Because guess what happens? They could go for a 2-point, which I don't know why they would up this much. But then they also have an extra point. So to make it easy, instead of changing the score twice, I just changed it once. It's actually 31-0, by the way, Melissa. Thank you very much. I'm getting there, okay? I'm getting there. Cut me some slack, Melissa, okay? Cut me some slack. But, yeah, I think the Raiders have it worse. The Jets are going to have some decently good picks. They're going to have their own pick. They're going to have the Colts pick. So, like, the Colts continue to slide. Maybe they end off at 8-9. You know, they lose out. They could. Dude, you're playing a handicap team that's basically in special ed. I'm playing? Alfredo, do you think I'm rooting for the Eagles? Alfredo, you like typed all of that, like fully expecting me to be an Eagles fan. You couldn't be further from like that being correct. Mind you, what you're saying is not wrong, just how you're directing it. Let's do a little context clues here, okay? We can do a little bit of research. We could think about this for a second, okay? What hat am I wearing? Does this look like an Eagles hat? Is this like a green hat? Is this anything Kelly blue, Kelly green, anything? Alfredo, you might be so dense. If you spent all that time to come up with some slick words for me not to even be an Eagles fan. It's okay, Melissa. I forgive you. But yeah, Brian, it'll be interesting. Why am I an Eagles fan? Thank you, Josh. I am an Eagles fan because of I couldn't come up with a reason why I'm an Eagles fan. Maybe because I'm not. Regardless, Grim, I think, yeah, obviously we can't win, but yes, definitely 3 more losses definitely guarantee. They don't get, I would say they guarantee us at least Mendoza if we wanted him. I know, Opium, man, 2016 Raiders, man, that was something special before Derek Carr went out with a femur injury. I also think the system's built around Jalen Hurts anyways, too, so. Dylan Laube bring this one out to the 32-yard line here. But yeah, what about if we just trade for Burrow? Yeah, guys, stop with the speculation. Joe Burrow's not getting traded. He's not retiring. He's not pointing Andrew Luck. Just let that go. I know that there was some comments he made. He's not leaving, guys. He's not leaving. And I don't think, I think that, they're too cheap anyways. They're in Cincy. Anyways. Raiders come back here. 31-point comeback. Ashton Jensen into the flat route. He gets a catch, but man, Caleb Rogers not able to get the block there. Nakobe Dean in on the tackle there. If you're an Eagles fan, why are you wearing a Raiders hat? That's right, Josh. That's right. That's right. No, I should have bought an Eagles hat, man. I should have. I don't know what I was thinking, Josh. How the rookie's been looking? I like Darian Porter. Darian Porter's been guarding #1 receivers for the past handful of weeks. He's still got a lot of improvement to do. He's better than Kyu Blue Kelly, in my opinion. Mind you, you're going to look at the picks. The picks were pretty, they were good picks. Flat route pass for Brock Bowers, but freaking Tyler Lockett in his old age getting ran through like a college senior. Cooper DeJean. Oh, man. Oh, Josh Allen hands it off to James Cook. He's going to go for a touchdown. Wow, that's a crazy touchdown. 21-24 game. Draft Mendoza in with the other 6 picks. Go all line and pick up free agency O-line there. Yeah. I think that's what I would like them to do. Maybe not draft like all O-line. Free agency is going to be great with O-line. But you need to draft a quarterback if you want O-line to come play for you. Mind you, again, people that are not Raiders fans do not realize... Wow, Jack Betch almost with a crazy catch. Surprised he actually went for it. That was nearly a crazy catch. It was one of these little high school plays back in the day. But yeah, I feel bad for Genty. I know, I feel bad for Genty in a lot of ways. Just how they played him. But for many people that are not Raiders fans, they do not realize that there are 2 starters that are out. Your 2 best starters are out. and you're playing Alex Kappa, it's not a great look. You know what I mean? Mind you, you have Caleb Rogers as your rookie in there. Like, I don't mind Dylan Parham's a vet for the team, but he's also not that great. And so a lot of non-Raiders fans are like, man, this O-line just stinks. It does, because you're missing 2 of your starters. Remember how much points were getting put up throughout the first 4 weeks when the Raiders actually had their O-line? It was a lot. It was like 24 points per game. It was a lot. But yeah, unfortunately, not great. You had a few games where like you're missing Michael Mayer, who's like a great, pass blocking tight end, run blocking tight end. There's a blocking tight end. There seems to be a block in the back, by the way, Melissa. Let's go Eagles, yes. Scores 31-0, by the way, Melissa. Legal block in the back. Gonna set them back a handful of yards. It's not crazy. Oh, man. Tanner McKee is making his debut. Eagles are throwing in the secondary starters, guys. They're throwing in the towel, up 31-0. Right, Melissa? Right? It's 31-0? I know, R-True. You got to get ready for the draft at this point, man. Can't win any games. Like that Giants game, can't win, man. Our QB sucks, our O-lane sucks, our wide receivers suck, and our cornerbacks suck. Yeah, and our defensive line looks fine. Like I would be very that's a very competent D line for the most part, at least from a passing standpoint. Rushing standpoint, not so much, but yeah, as a whole, I really like them. Did Saquon get pulled out of the game? I'm assuming he's not coming back in this game. Oh yeah, the coach. Special teams. Mind you, there hasn't been much special teams today. We've only had 10 plays in Eagles territory, which has not been a whole lot today, at least. I wasn't able to drive as much, so yeah. I'm so tired. I just want this game to be over. Oh, the owner? Yeah. The fans rock. The fans are nice. Some fans are pretty miserable. Like, doing a lot of these watch parties, a lot of fans are very miserable. A lot of fans are pretty miserable. I'm not going to lie. And I love the Raider fandom. I love very passionate fans, but sometimes they're a little bit too passionate. You know, I'm like, you don't need to take out your aggression on me. I'm just simply giving play-by-play for the game. Like, what am I going to do? You know, are you venting to me? Are you just am I the first person that you saw and you're like, the freaking Raiders, they can't get anything going. I remember back in 1974. That. Thank you. Oh, Timmy, I'm sorry. I should have known. I should have grown up to be better. I should have moved to Vegas and just started training, guys. Watch them beat the Giants or the Chiefs. Oh, man, if they do. It moves us back a little bit. Depending on like the Saints. But here's the thing. The Titans are going to be playing the Saints. So the Saints are guaranteed another win. If not, maybe not guaranteed a win. But that's going to be interesting because the Raiders can't win. The worst case scenario that moves us back is the Saints lose that game against the Titans. So the Titans win, the Saints lose. Titans are now ahead of us. The Raiders win against the Giants. And now the Saints have the number 1 overall pick. Yes, thank you, user. Thank you. What is your profile photo? You look like a thumb with hair. What's going on? What is your profile photo? Kim Scattaboo is not back. I think he's out for season, if I'm not wrong. If he's not right now, then he should be. Oh, yeah, and the Jets also play the Saints, so, like, that's really good for us. But we also need to lose every game, which is very possible. But yeah, Saquon's pulled, by the way. Tank Bisbee's in the game. But yeah, so the Jets play the Saints, the Titans play the Saints, and depending on how those go, that's very interesting because, like, the Raiders play the Giants. The Giants are around our pick as well. They're sitting 3rd right now. Again, I don't think they draft a quarterback. I don't think the Titans draft a quarterback. The Saints are kind of the only team. The Jets for sure probably are. I think they honestly draft, like, Diego Pavia, in my opinion. He seems like a guy for them, especially with, like, an Aaron Glenn type of system. But, yeah, there's a lot of matchups within this first 5 picks that are all playing each other. So, yeah, Tanner McKee slinging that thing finds himself number 80. Darius Cooper. By the way, didn't the Raiders fans say they were going to beat us because they're underdogs? Dylan, if you're listening to any Raiders fans saying, oh, we're going to beat you guys because we're Stream went down again. God damn, dude. God damn. Stream continues to go down. Why? Why does the stream continue to go down? Like, what am I doing? What am I doing that's wrong? I'm so confused. I'm so confused. Anywho, we're in the fourth quarter. 12 minutes left. Tanner McKee is in the game, 1st and 10. Tank Bisbee, run up the middle. He's going to get a handful of yards. Tackled after a gain of 3. Ah, Nationers, dude. Why does this keep happening, man? Why does this keep happening? Parker, I'm welcome back. Why does it keep happening? My TikTok live keeps going down. I'm hoping that thing resolves itself. It's kind of frustrating. It's very frustrating, Nationers. Very frustrating. Very frustrated because we have a good conversation going on, man. We got a great conversation going on, and then it all goes down the drain. Tanner McKee under center here. Another handoff for Tank Bigsby. Fumbles it off the snap. Or not the snap, but the handoff, rather. Able to set the edge. He gets a handful of yards. 3rd and short coming up. Let's see what happens here, Nationers. Big Dom on the sideline. The big Italian on the sideline here. Tanner McKee, 1-1 for 15 yards. To Cooper. Darius Cooper, that is. Oh, I really like A.J. Brown's hair, man. I really like him. I like shoulder dreads. Like thin shoulder dreads that kind of go to your shoulder. I love that hairstyle, man. Something about it. But yeah, Nation. Sorry, can I show the game, Matthias? Unfortunately not. Unfortunately not. Timeout by the Eagles here. Their first, their first of the half. First used all game. Fortunately, Matthias cannot show the game. Fortunately not. I apologize. Can't do that. Got to see what the Eagles are going to do here on 3rd and 3 here. About 3rd and 3, 3rd and 4 coming up. I feel bad for Max. I do too. He's been increasingly frustrated over the past few games. I've been, they have a camera pan to him at times in between, possession changes. And especially earlier today when Devin White stopped his pursuit on Dallas Goedert's pitch, kind of dump off jet sweep touchdown. Yeah, I feel bad for him too. I feel bad because he's obviously playing his heart out all game, and yeah, it's tough because offensively it's probably this is one of the worst offenses of all time in the history of the NFL. Actually genuinely one of the worst. And that's also considering that they had 4 good weeks to start off the season. That is also considering that, and they're still one of the worst. So the bads must be really bad for it to be that. What would be a good stat? Worst NFL offenses of all time? Let's see. What are those lowest scoring offenses? Okay. So, yeah, I guess you just do it points per game in a way. You got to do it points per game because not every team has played the same amount of games. Because there's some 9 game seasons, 14 and 16 game seasons. How many points have the Raiders scored? Raiders PPG 15 to 15.1. Let's see where that puts them. That puts them at the 20th worst ever. And mind you, 32 teams over the course of many, many years. Who will be the next Raider head coach? It's a great question. I have no idea. I know that there was some connection with Robert Saleh. I saw a few things on that. I like Robert Saleh. I'm a huge defensive guy, and I say that as I played kicker and punter and wide receiver and quarterback, but not in college or high school, but I played wide receiver and kicker and punter in high school. But yeah, oh, they're using the Benny font. So cool. I like that font a lot. The Benny font. We do need a new owner, Cristero. We do. And whether that's expensive, I just don't think that Mark Davis sells, man. I don't think he does. He's giving up ownership in small parts, so it's kind of rough. 3rd and 3, gets it, converts. Number 81, Grant Calcaterra in there, another SMU tight end. It's so funny that the Eagles have 2 SMU tight ends. But also, who do you think the MVP of this game is? Probably Dallas Goedert. Probably Dallas Goedert. Even with the drop touchdown that ended up being a Saquon rushing touchdown. I would probably say Dallas Goedert still. He's got 70 yards for 6 receptions and 2 touchdowns. There's really not much more that you can ask about that, you know? Some people might point at Jalen Hurts. 12 of 15, 175 yards, 3 touchdowns. He had a lot of, like, half of his passes were checkdowns. But he also had some really good bombs. So, yeah. Yeah, I saw Jalen was up after that sack, yeah. I need Genty to get 20 yards. We'll see. I don't know what the offense is going to look like, Tree. Are you like, did you take the over or something? What did you do? Why did you take in the over? A 50-yard over? Riley Iverson, thank you so much for hitting that follow button. Welcome to the nation. Welcome to the realist community on the internet. Great to see you in here. But yeah, they're taking a lot of this clock down too. And the Raiders still have a lot of their starters here too. And Tank Bisbee's going to be tackled behind the line of scrimmage on 2nd and 6 for a loss of 2. 3rd and 8, or rather 3rd and long coming up. Let's see what happens here, Nationers. Let's see what happens. By the way, Masha, didn't I tell you the Raiders were going to lose? I don't think you had to tell me that, Masha. But yeah, I think most people, I wouldn't necessarily gloat. The gloating is not a good thing, by the way, okay? Gloating is not a good thing. We like to feel good about ourselves. We don't need to rub it in other people's faces. Not that you are, but we like to be right about things, right? We like to be right about things, Masha. Like the same person that came in earlier and was like, man, this BTA, a lot of people were saying that the Raiders are going to win because they were underdogs. Like, just because some Raider fans said that doesn't mean like every Raiders fan thought that. If you're like realistic, like if you're realistic, the Raiders had no chance to win this game. Obviously, they had a small chance because they're playing in the game, but they have no chance to actually go win it, given the circumstances they have. But, yeah, we have the number 1 pick. We need number 1 pick. We don't necessarily need the number 1 pick. But I'm with you. We don't need it. Because who's ahead of us is the Titans right now. Are the Titans going to draft the quarterback? Probably not. I think it's surprising, yeah, but Eagles fans thinking it's a big success. No, I don't think that. I think it's more or less that people are like, oh, man, like, the Eagles are on a 3-game slide, right? Well, Tree, there's still multiple games. They have the Saints coming up. That's a doable one, but they have 2 really big defenses. They have the Jaguars in Week 18 that I don't think they're going to win that game. I mean, they looked good against the Seahawks, so who knows, but the Saints is going to be the most likely. And again, I don't care about the first overall pick as long as the Titans are ahead of us. We're sitting 2 right now. I am very comfortable in 2. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Like, I'm very comfortable in 2. Because, oh no, is Fernando Mendoza going to go to the Titans? Probably not. Even the Eagles second stringers are beating us. Yeah, I still got to take Bisbee in there. He's technically their second running back. But yeah, pretty much everyone else is just like the depth of things. 1st and 10. I think Bisbee gets another run for 1st and 10. Y'all still blaming the quarterback or nah? Who's y'all? Serene. Mind you, just because one Raider fan says that or multiple does not make every Raider fan say that. That's how about you ask me what my thoughts are, or maybe you can watch the stream and get my thoughts on the game, right? Just because one person says something and has an opinion doesn't mean that everyone shares that same sentiment. Okay? Yeah, Smith is out. Yeah, so Smith, Gino was out with the, out with a shoulder injury and a back injury today, seems like. He heard it last week against Denver. So, yeah. CJ, thank you so much for hitting that follow button. Much love out to you. Yeah, I think a lot of it is honestly coaching too, CJ, as well. Yazir, I think also, I mean, I'm sure you're a Raiders fan. It seems like you are. But also just having 2 starters out does not help. I mean, we had all of our linemen in there to start off the season. So, yeah. And we looked good throughout those first 4 weeks. So, yeah. If we want Mendoza, we need to have the first round pick. I'll tell you why we don't, right? They trade down, another team takes Mendoza. Sure. That's a reality. But I also think if there's a guy that they really want, whether that's, I'm sure they probably would draft assets, granted that they probably don't need anyone. But you ask yourself, who's the team that they're going to trade back for? The Jets, maybe. Maybe the Raiders trade it. Maybe they just do a little trade swap, you know? Sounds like the Raiders could also trade for it, right? I love the Eagles, but I'm also a Geno fan because he played in my college. Yes, UVU, Western Virginia. Very nice. Genty's got 30 right now, by the way. Jets said we do have the picks up to move. I think you're safer taking the picks that you have instead of trading up for it. I think they'd be very happy with Diego Pavia or even Dante Moore or Julian Sane. Like, I think they'd be very happy with that. I mean, unless they genuinely think that, like, Fernando is, like, that guy, right? But, yeah, certainly the number one pick definitely guarantees your future. You know, it's not up to destiny. Max Crosby. Oh, Adam Butler. What the hell are you doing, big dog? What the hell are you doing? I'm not even calling the games. I would probably want him too. But yeah, I don't see Diego working out in the NFL with how cocky he is. I agree too, Colton. I agree too. I'm probably with that same boat as well. But do the Jets think that? That's the thing. Do the Jets want a guy that with a little bit more swagger? It's maybe not so like humble all the time. Somebody to kind of talk their shit. You know, who's also can kind of back it up on the field for the most part. He's not a bad quarterback. You're not a bad quarterback if you make the Heisman finalist. So, you got to give some credit. I would say too that you'd have to be very desperate to draft him and like just check it out for a year. You know, like if you're a team willing to do that. But yeah, like I could see like the Colts maybe doing that. You know, Daniel Jones going to be out for all next year. Phillip Rivers probably going back to retirement after this year. Tank Bisbee with a nice juke. He gets a yard. So yeah, trade Max for first 2-round picks. Trade our first round pick for another. The interest is you're saying play the long game. How long until the Raiders are contenders? Could be another 2 to 3 years. I'm going to be completely honest. You have a lot of star power talent that most teams would need. The hard part is like if you trade your best guy, he's probably your biggest asset. You need to get something in return for him. Not saying that people need to. Not saying that you do. Thank you, Colton. I appreciate that. Yeah, he's a little tinier. He's a little tinier like JD5, but I like Dante Moore. But yeah, the size is like a little smaller, which I'm not too much of a fan of. But as a whole, you have the star powers to go do it. You have a great tight end. You have a great running back, right? That's looking at like you're missing a good quarterback. Take a year or two, and then just a few good draft/free agency classes that are doing it. Colton, no, I'm a Jags fan. No, I'm a Raiders fan, Colton. But yeah, who do you think in first round draft? Just like pick? I would prefer a quarterback. Do I know who? No. But what scares me is that the Raiders might not do that. I don't think Archie Manning is going to be great in the NFL, to be honest. I'm going to be completely honest. Arch Manning, I don't think is going to be a great quarterback in the NFL. No, so here's the thing, guys. I'm sure maybe not everyone in the chat like follows football like a ton. Like they know what's going on generally, but like the inner workings of free agency, the Raiders are going to have a good amount of cap space. Plus, what's going to happen is that there is a bunch of O-line, at least in free agency. O-line, yes, you could get a guy that actually starts and is actually pretty good, but to get a vet and to get a handful of vets and also draft maybe a few people behind that, like you have Caleb Rogers going into a second year next year, you go out in free agency and go get that. This free agency is good, okay? Now, on top of that, you draft a quarterback. A good quarterback with a good head coach, or at least the thought of that. We saw that with the Bears, right? New head coach, second-year quarterback. Oh, like a lot of people want to be traded and go there. Joe Thuney from the Chiefs. You know, they get 2 other O-linemen. And yeah, they look pretty confident. Caleb Williams is having the exact same year as he did last year, just with a better team. You know what I mean? Who has the ball? The Eagles do at the 1-yard line on 4th and goal here. The Raiders are definitely worse. The Giants are a far better team than the Raiders right now. Charles Onyang, thank you so much for hitting that follow button. Welcome to the nation. Welcome to the Realest Community on the internet. Thank you, Josh. Thank you. Wait, let me get this straight. Are you an Eagles fan and why? Josh, I love it, man. I love it. I love it. But yeah, that's as a whole. They should let Hurts get that perfect rating. Who cares about a perfect rating? It's cool to look back and like, I don't know, next season be like, oh man, he's got like 3 perfect ratings in the past 5 years. It's like, it looks good, but how you get it really matters. I would probably say so. Colby, I'm going to be completely honest. And anyone saying like, oh man, like, what are your thoughts on Mendoza? What are you like? I have seen Mendoza throw 1 pass in my entire life. Okay. I don't watch any college football. I hate watching college football. I cannot stand watching college football. I watch like Oregon because I live on the West Coast. So like I get to watch a lot of their games. Last year I watched a lot of Colorado for the same thing. Guys, I do not watch any college football. Now, yes, I do know a good quarterback from a bad quarterback when I'm watching the combine, when I'm watching like highlights. I know a good from a bad, right? I can discern that. I'm a good enough eye to know like, oh, I like the tendency. Right. I have watched Mendoza throw 1 pass in my entire life, guys. Okay. I came in to watch the Indiana versus Ohio State game, and it was the final 23 seconds. So, yeah, I also think the future is very bright. Mizusaki, excuse me. Yeah, the Raiders are 100% tanking, for sure. Yeah, the draft class isn't, like, star-studded, but you do find those gems regardless. What is the Raiders draft capable now, Jared Hathaway? Losing to the Eagles today. Yeah, so looking at the tankathon, this is just the easiest because they just track everything like this. It always takes me to the NBA one because I'm a big NBA fan. But yeah, the Giants technically hold the #1 pick because of their loss streak and the strength of schedule finishing off this season. But yeah, here's the thing. The Giants and the Raiders play. The Giants and the Raiders play in week... They play in week 17. They play in week 17, Nationers. So one person's got to win that game. Yes, we could end in a tie, but I prefer the loss. I knew it was week 17. I always thought it was week 16 for some reason, but I always knew it was Giants, then Chiefs. And Chiefs player 18, so yeah. And like I mentioned, Tennessee obviously sitting behind us. The Giants sitting in front of us. The Giants probably don't draft a quarterback, right? Tennessee probably doesn't. Cleveland probably doesn't. They're a little iffy. The Saints are a little iffy, but they also drafted Tyler Shuck, who's probably going to be their quarterback for a handful of years. Washington, no. Jets, yes. Arizona, probably. Do I think Pete Carroll will be back? I don't think he will be. I think he will, but somebody's got to have a talk to him, dude. Like, somebody has to have a talk to him. Because I have not liked necessarily the coaching style. I mean, mind you, it's very similar to like the Seahawks, but it's lost like a notch, you know? You kind of went from like a contender to like, oh, okay, you're like the wild card. You're still making the playoffs. Like, granted, you could make like the Super Bowl, but you know, you need a lot to go right. That's kind of where I think I'm at with him, as that. So, yeah. Jalen got a touchdown? No. The Raiders got a turnover. Or are you talking about like Jalen Hurts, like rushing, passing? He's got 3 passing touchdowns. I do too, Colby. I do too. I would prefer. I am not a huge fan in the NBA and the NFL of. I mean, if a head coach is really bad, you got to get rid of him. You have to, right? I am a full proponent on that. But what I don't like is like, oh man, like you had a bad year because you expected to have a bad year. And you're like, oh man, maybe the next year doesn't go exactly your way, but you're still building off of it. You know what I mean? I am not user. I am not. Jack Betch in motion. Still got the starters out there. Ashton Denny is still in the game. Bunch of secondaries. Ashton Genty breaks. Cuts one back. He's going to get about 5 yards. I hate the Raiders team so much. I'll never not be a Raiders fan, though, Kim. I love the loyalty. I love it. With my Raiders choose Fernando Mendoza. You have to build. 1 year is not sustainable. I agree, Colby. I agree. That's why I really liked Rich Bisaccio Like, I don't think he's a great head coach, but I would have liked to see the next iteration of that going into next year. Even AP, I would have liked to see AP a little bit more. I understand it wasn't like the greatest situation to be in. And I'm sure a lot of it wasn't always his direction. Because, you know, as a head coach, you could do so much. But Dylan Laube cuts one back. He's going to get tackled for a gain of 1. Third down coming up. AG, thank you so much for that follow button. Much love out to you. Who would you want the Raiders to draft? I would prefer a quarterback. Yeah, I know. Gruden was great. And, you know, it sucks that a few emails got leaked, dude. It's like, especially the worst time. We should have never got rid of Jack Del Rio. Yeah, that's a little iffy. That is always a little iffy because I actually really like Jack Del Rio. Thank you, by the way. Ty loves Christ. Appreciate you. Jesus Christ loves you as well, my guy. But one of the things, though, is Jack Del Rio is kind of like on that tip of like kind of coming down as a career. You know what I mean? And Mr. Relaxing, you have no idea my opinion on AP. If you've watched these streams, you would know that I'm not like AP's the guy for like being a head coach. Now, I'll reiterate what I mentioned. I like AP. Like I said, I like AP. Did I say I like him as a head coach? No. You have to listen to what people say before you start chatting and typing on your keyboard, okay? I said I like AP. Did I say I like him as a head coach? No. I thought he brought great culture. I thought he was a juice that I think the Raiders needed for that time. Do I think he was the head coach for that team? No. I understand why they moved on. But who they moved on for was no better than where they already were at. So please listen before you start chatting. Okay? Okay? My goodness. Your name is Mr. Relaxing. I think you just need to relax. Okay? Not everything needs to be an argument. I understand that everyone's got an opinion, but just because somebody has a slightly different opinion doesn't mean the world is on fire, okay? Please understand. I know 31-0 is rough. But yeah, we need to spend half our salary on O-line. I agree, especially like if we do draft a quarterback, one and only. Kubiak for head coach. Clint Kubiak. I have a really tough time seeing him leave Seattle. Really tough time. You know what I mean? I have a really tough time seeing him leave Seattle. Yeah, Timmy. So that would have been the Chiefs game. The Colts game, we did score 6 points. But yeah, 3 shutouts. Chiefs? No. Just this. Yeah, just this and the Eagles. Colts game was basically a blowout, though. But yeah, too many casinos, not actual attention to sports. Takes teams away from Vegas. It's going to be tough because they're going to be there for a while. But yeah. It feels like our third time, though. Because, I mean, you're kind of considering that Colts one pretty bad as well. Jack's offense didn't get much better. It got worse over time. I agree, Mizzou. I agree. And especially as other defenses were adapting and other offenses were getting better. Like, that, it looked real good, and then it just kind of plateaued, and it was starting to hit that bottom stride. And it was like, I understand why we got rid of him. Yeah, I like Dante. I watched a few of his games. I just think build-wise, I have a tough time seeing him be like the guy for the Raiders, given who we have. But, yeah. Yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing that. I just have a tough time seeing Clint Kubiak leave Seattle, given what they have right now. Here's the one thing I don't understand. I do not understand why, like, I understand you got to be selfish. You got to have your own best interest at heart. But sometimes, like, your best interest is just being an assistant, being a coordinator, right? Like, just being that. You know, you look at Josh McDaniels, awful head coach, right? You look at, what is it? Some people are not meant to be head coaches. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I'll be 3 Oregon Ducks versus Mahomes. That's kind of funny. You got Bo Nix, Justin Herbo, and Dante Moore. That'd be kind of funny. Just to take down Patrick Mahomes. Stop watching at halftime. Glad we still see we have 0 points. Look at Ben Johnson. Yeah, no, and that's the thing, Raider. Like, but then you're also looking at Aaron Glenn, like a defensive-minded coach. Like, mind you, I loved him in Detroit. Like, good energy, great play calling. And the one thing is like, there has been a lot of head coaches or a lot of assistants that have moved on and just not been good. I know I bring up the Josh McDaniels, but again, we probably should have seen that coming in his Denver days. But there has been a lot of people and a lot of assistants that decide to go head coach somewhere because they think that oh man, this team that we got, and then it not be really good. You know what I mean? Mark Davis should just sell the team. He doesn't care about the team, only money. I would agree. I think he'll tell you something different, but yeah. Alabama drafting linebackers and safeties corner is really good. I agree. There's definitely some good things there to be said. What the fuck? The Ravens are up 24-0 against Cincinnati. When Cincinnati loses today, they're out the playoff race. Technically, they are not mathematically eliminated. Buffalo Bills versus New England Patriots, 28-31. That is a must-win for the Buffalo Bills, though. Chargers up against KC. The Jets 20-41 against the Jags. Arizona's 20-33 against Houston. Cleveland Browns 3-28 right now against the Bears. But yeah, 2 close games so far. We got the Chargers, Chiefs, and the Buffalo Patriots. So yeah, how is Shadur though doing? Because I know that he wasn't doing too great off rip, but he was doing okay. Yeah, 112 for 2 interceptions. Yeah, that's pretty rough. Especially saying he had 115 to start off with. No, he had 57. He was 4 of 10 at half. Yeah. He's been sacked 3 times. So is Caleb Williams. Yeah, that's rough. Rough game. But yeah. Also, Chance. By the way, Mizusaki, thank you so much for hitting that follow button. Much love out to you. Timmy, thank you so much for wanting to heart me. Thank you so much for joining the fan club, by the way. Defensive-minded head coaches haven't been really working out. I agree. It's amazing how much stuff we rely on. Mizzou. Elijah, well, how are you, man? I'm doing well, Elijah. How are you? Us Raiders fans need to stop being loyal for a year to make us better. I think the hard part is like every year we're on a tightrope. Like, we'll get better. We'll get better. We'll get better. I thought Derek Carr was, man, I really liked him as a quarterback. Mind you, he wasn't like the greatest quarterback, but he did exactly what you wanted him to do. He duked it out, was willing to go get wins. Did Garrett Williams get the sack record? Did Myles Garrett get the sack record? Did he get it? 20. He's got 20 so far. He needs 2 more. I feel like Derek Carr just did way too much when we didn't have it. Yeah, especially you're like looking at like receivers like Seth Roberts, Zay Jones. You're just like looking at these bunch of wannabe receivers, and he did a lot with a nothing. He did a lot with nothing. And, you know, the hard part is like, man, we were in a lot of third downs with him. We were in a lot of third down situations, you know, but most of them all positive, you know, but then we'd have a penalty and, you know, Raiders being the most penalized team for like a freaking decade straight. It did not help us. And yeah, I'm just blown how Tom Brady doesn't speak up. He owns 15% of the team. It's crazy. Yeah, I know that there's some limitation, but yeah, I would like to see him speak up a little bit more. And, you know, I hope that they revisit. The hard part is like, what does a conversation do now, like in week 15? It's like, cool. It does something, but like, does it do what you need it to do? You know, I think everyone in the building is understanding like we are kind of going for the first overall pick. So yeah, I'm convinced they are too. Yeah, the season's been over for probably like 8 weeks now. By the way, Spunky, what is good? Thank you so much for that follow button. Much love out to you. The team isn't trying, pathetic. The only game they show of the Raiders in the LA markets, 0 points. I have a balance in sports. My Dodgers won, my Raiders suck. My LA Lakers looking promising. Very nice. Gotta love the Dodgers win, especially for the LA fan base. Lakers, I'm a big Luka fan. I got a Luka like signature memorabilia there. But yeah, and of course I root for the Raiders. So yeah, that's always fun. So I got little aspects, of course. I got a lot of family in the LA parts. So yeah, I'm just ready for the World Cup in Seattle. I am too, Timmy. Yeah, I live in Spokane. So like, I'm hoping that we get tickets or we'll see how much they cost. I want to go watch a game, man. I really want to go watch a game with my family. So yeah, Dodgers just got Edwin Diaz. Very nice. Dude, they're literally the Avengers. Dante Moore's on his way, bro. He's on the way to my house. I said I live in Spokane. He's going to knock on every door. By the way, are you a Mendoza guy or do you think Joe Burrow the answer? Guys, Joe Burrow is not getting traded. Stop with speculation. I mean, you could just save yourself time. He's not getting traded. He's not going anywhere. He's not. But I don't watch any college football. I know a lot of people are really high on Mendoza. Don't get me wrong. But unfortunately, I've only seen him throw 1 pass in my life. So, life is hell. Oh, God. At least you have Mike. I hope Mike Trout's still on the team. At least I hope. It's a tough. That's a tough one. Usernames are stupid. But yeah, I mean, I trust a lot of you guys' opinion with that, but I also want to make my own opinion and watch just some game film, of course, just, whether that's highlights or just watch some like recaps of sorts. See, like, because one thing, you have to have the right mechanics. Like, is he making a lot of checkdowns and just looks good? Is he making a lot of deep passes? Does his feet work look good? Like, Shedeur has really good footwork. Don't get me wrong. Like, Shedeur has some really good footwork for what it is. And, I watched a lot of Colorado games last year, and, like, I wasn't high on, like, Shadeur's going to go save a team. Like, he's going to be the game changer that everyone's going to need. But what I think is important to know is that I find a lot of, like, his rollout's really good because he rolled out a bunch when he was in Colorado. Like, when we played the Browns earlier this year, like, a lot of people are like, man, you're just hating at this point. I'm like, yeah, but I'm also being realistic. When a lot of your passes are just checkdowns, it's hard to look at you as, like, a competent quarterback, right? Like, yeah, you can make the right play when it matters, but, like, if you're just getting a bunch of yards and if you're, like, 20 of 24 and you have 100 yards, it's like, it doesn't look that good, And so, you have to be realistic in a lot of those senses, because, like, even Bo Nix is kind of crippling from that. You get you 200 yards, have a few deep bombs, but a lot of them are slant routes. A lot of them are mesh concepts, with a few yards after the catch. It's not great, but, I think that's kind of also what the NFL looks like these days, Yeah, and also, Timmy, I mean, Mendoza was very much just a overlooked guy out of high school. I don't really look too much about that with, like, high school and going into college, too. I think it's pretty good for the most part, but it's also not perfect, of course. College systems also matter. Joe Burrow with another pick, man, on 3rd and goal. Oh, man. Oh, and they scored oh, my God, a pick 6. That's even worse. That is rough. But yeah, I'm embracing the tank, man. I've been embracing the tank for a handful of weeks now when we were like 2-7. So I'm with you there. After once I saw the Jags game, I was like, okay, it's not bad, but yeah. After that, it's been kind of downhill. Jags game was like our last promising game, to be honest. And maybe like our Thursday night football. And Shedeur threw a 3rd pick. Selly's up, guys. Selly's up. If they return this, they're absolutely celebrating. They're absolutely celebrating. Watch is up. Shout out to So Tough. We needed that. I know. We need that for our egos. Philadelphia also needed that for sure. They definitely need a good bounce back win. But yeah. Here comes Mendoza. Yeah, it's getting close, man. It's definitely getting close. I'm excited to see what we do in April. I like to see what the combine looks like. I think Mendoza will be very good in the combine a lot. He's a very drill guy. He seems very oriented in that sense. By the way, Browns quarterbacks are also do super good when they get traded out of there. That is true. That is kind of true. I mean, Baker still kind of did struggle when he got traded, but he got once he landed in Tampa Bay, I was very high. He's obviously had a great career there. I think my dogs are fighting. But yeah. I wonder when that plug will be pulled. I wonder when that plug will be pulled. But yeah, Nationers, I do want to thank you guys so much for coming to today's stream. I hope that you guys did enjoy. Make sure to leave a follow if you guys haven't already. AJ Brown, the AJ Brown, touchdown AJ Brown. Is that actually AJ Brown? Can somebody actually look? I'm sure it's not, but if it is, shout out AJ Brown. A lot of people were asking, like, is he even playing? I mean, Joe Flacco was still doing good on the Browns too, so it's not. He was still doing good on the Browns, and it's Joe Flacco. Deion in shambles right now. He might be. Yeah, 2-12 is crazy. Yeah, I have not seen a 2-12 team in a while, especially a team that I've rooted for. I've been very blessed. I've been very, very blessed. It's not the AJ Brown, man. I thought it was. Eagles are tough. Yeah, good game for the Eagles. Great touchdown by AJ Brown today too. Yeah, definitely need to lose out though. 2-14. Be so interesting. 2-14. So yeah. That's actually AJ Brown. No, I just looked it up. I wish it was. That'd be kind of cool. That'd be kind of funny. But my Brown Eagles won. Let's go. If you're an Eagles fan, this isn't something we should be happy about. It's the Raiders. No, but like as an Eagle fan though, user like Jalen Hurts didn't turn over the ball. Like they played really great. Like I don't care if it's the Raiders. Like we're Super Bowl bound, user. Come on now, man. We're Super Bowl bound. It bounced back. We're 9-5. You know how many teams are 9-5 right now? We're one of them, okay? I don't know who you're talking about, user. Thank you. Come on, thank you. Thank you for understanding. Yeah, I can't believe you would disrespect the Super Bowl MVP Jalen Hurts like that. Monganai. Not able to haul that one in. Is that a pick? No, hit the ground. But is Anne Hathaway my mom? She's my cousin, actually. Yeah, our record isn't updated. Yeah, by the way, these are just overlays, mind you. So this is what it actually looks like, by the way, Nationers. So I have a whole overlay. I got a whole overlay. So I can't edit this. You know what I mean? By the way, Zip Lips, thank you so much for hitting that follow button. Welcome to the nation. Welcome to the realest community on the internet. Great to see you in here. Nationers, thank you guys again so much for tuning in today's stream. If you guys haven't already, next week we will be live for the Raiders versus the Houston Texan game. That's probably also going to be a blowout, shutout, some sort of goose egg. But Nation, get some 07s up in chat for me. Get some 07s up in chat for Raider Nation. I know we're obviously 2-12 right now, but we're looking at, a potential first overall pick. We have the Giants in week 17, but we also need to lose next week. So Nationers, it's a losing watch party tomorrow, next week, Nationers. That game, by the way, is at home, I believe, against Houston. And most importantly, Nationers, that game will be at 1 o'clock. So I hope to see you guys there for that game. Mind you, we are the first game from 10 o'clock to actually finish, which is so funny. And like no other game is finishing. But yeah, Nationers, thank you guys again so much for being here. Isabel, great to see you in here. Hope you're doing well. Vegas, start clutching some, putting your bets in now. Honestly, start putting some like money lines on some Eagles fans, or not Eagles fans, just against the Raiders. Nonetheless, Nationers, I appreciate you guys being in here. Hope that you guys are doing well, and I can't wait to draft Jamarcus Russell yet again. Not saying that we are, but who knows? Nonetheless, Nationers, hope that you guys have a great rest of your weekend. Hope you enjoy the afternoon slate. We got some amazing games coming up. Phillip Rivers return game. Going to be exciting. But nonetheless, Nationals, I'll see you guys later. 07 and peace. Peace. Goodbye, Nationals.